Hey guys, J-Man here in the Danger Room. Okay, we got a lot to talk about. We're talking about the Suicide Squad. We're going to talk about the first one. We're going to talk about the second one. We're going to compare the two. We're going to fight over it. I'm wearing my Birds of Prey Harley Quinn shirt because it's the only Harley Quinn thing I have. And everyone hates Birds of Prey, so we're not going to talk about that one. Although we might, it might get brought up. Okay, so I'm going to be bringing in lots of people. I've posted everywhere, so if you want to come in, we're gonna bring in people as we go. Um, hey, what's going on, Cosmos John, and hey to Zack Snyder fanboy. So get your reviews ready for Suicide Squad. There's going to be spoilers in this, and I'm going to be bringing in people. And we're only doing Suicide Squad talk today. Anything revolving around Suicide Squad and also the idea of the review bombing that I heard about, which we're going to discuss real quick before we get going. So I'm going to have a rotating panel. Obviously, my standard guys are going to be with us the entire time or until they feel that they have nothing more to add. But so it'll probably, the heavy duty talks will probably start in about maybe 20 minutes or so. Once I have everybody on here, and we're going to get right into it. So just for right now, I'm going to bring Steve in. Hey, Steve, how's it going?
Never day in paradise, J-Man.
Paradise, yeah, all right. You're not wearing any Harley Quinn or any Suicide Squad?
I don't have anything. And besides, you're going to love this. I just got a new Trivial Pursuit game. It's called the Ultimate Horror Edition.
Oh my God, we have to do it. We should do it online.
Oh man, you will love this, man. Like you got to see the pieces when you come over. The pieces are incredible. Like awesome. the actual pieces. Like one is a brain with a cleaver through it, and there's 6 categories of horror. There's like horror. There's like comedy. There's like gore. There's slasher. There's monster. There's paranormal.
Oh and man, I'm gonna suck at paranormal.
Oh man, 1,800 questions. 1,800 questions, movies, television, books, the whole thing.
Wow. Oh, books on. Oh, I can't read. You know that. That's not fair. I'm not going to do good on the reading part. Okay, so Steve, we're going to have a bunch of people. Sean's going to come on in about half. And we're going to have rotating people. So obviously you're going to be on with me since you and Sean are going to be like the Suicide Squad people. But I think a lot of people want to talk about this movie. So I'll bring in people a little bit earlier than I normally do, but we're going to do Suicide Squad talk only. People are going to give their reviews. We're going to talk about it, and then we're going to get the next people in. So it'll be a little bit more rotating rather than like having everyone on at the same time. How's it going, dude? Okay. So I think we've said hello to everybody. Hey, Zack Snyder, and we got Cosmos. Okay, cool. So I'm not sure if Greymalkin was able to see Suicide Squad. So I'm not sure if he's gonna be on here. And we might get John on here from Action Flicks as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you want to see the shirts? Let's get the shirts out of the way here for our buddy. I got Harley Quinn. This is from the Birds of Prey. I know everyone hates Birds of Prey. Steve's got a cool shirt today.
Halloween safety.
Oh, that is great. That is great. We do like safety on Halloween,
especially if Michael Myers around.
You need to be safe. Yes, that is true. Okay, so before we start breaking this down, we are going to do the space reviews. Once I get a couple of more people on here, I don't know if John is super familiar with space. I don't know if Greymalkin is really that familiar. I don't know if we've done one with him before. But we are going to do the space reviews. Owen from the Action Elite might pop in a little bit later in the evening. He may not pop in, which is fine. He did post a review, so we know what his rating is anyways. But I do like to do the space technique because I really feel that it's like the fairest technique, and it'll really kind of help us elaborate more. And so we'll go through it once we get kind of everybody on here. I just wanted to start up early because I am already getting a couple people saying, yeah, they want to kind of, like talk about it. So I'm just waiting to see who else we got, and we'll send out the invites as we go. Okay. Now I just quickly saw this article like 1 minute before I went live here, which was this whole idea of this review bombing. So are you familiar with what they say review bombing? Do you know what that is?
Heard the term, don't
Don't really.
necessarily understand it.
I don't really necessarily understand it perfectly in order to teach someone what it means or whatever, but my interpretation, and someone can correct me in chat, my interpretation is that this is where you get a bunch of people who haven't seen the movie or are immediately just saying it's bad, and they're just going out and posting a bunch of bad reviews just to get the score lowered. So typically what this is referred to as, this is the sort of the crazy fanboys. So let me give you an example that's not a DC thing. So the He-Man, I keep saying He-Man because fucking He-Man is the brand. Masters of the Universe Revelation, they're saying that was a targeted series for review bombing, which is to say all of the man baby, people who can't understand having a female lead, even though Tila was already a strong woman before and we all liked her, so it's a kind of a lie. But they're saying that we all went on there and just posted a bunch of fake reviews, giving it all like 0 stars or 1 star or whatever the lowest is to get it to be very low. So it's, or people who haven't watched it and they're just immediately like, oh, this is crap, I don't like it, I'm gonna do that. So apparently, I don't really buy into this theory at all, because I don't like a lot of stuff, and I don't go out and do negative reviews. I don't even do positive reviews. I don't do any reviews anymore. Man, when's the last time? Well, I don't know, Steve. When's the last time you did a review of a current film for the Action Elite or the Movie Elite? Because you're a current writer. You're one of the basically staff writers of Movie Elite, right?
Right.
So when's the last time you did a proper review for a new movie? You usually do retrospectives from the articles that I've seen of yours.
Yeah, I do retrospective. Lately, I've been doing the Legends of Comedy, because Owen did the Legends of Action. I'm like, well, what about the Legends of Comedy?
Yeah.
But it's rare because I feel like we've seen everything that needs to be spoken about. Like, and everything that's coming out is, unless it's something hits us out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what am I really telling anyone that, go see The Third Man? You should have already seen it. If you're a movie person, go see Citizen Kane. You should have already seen it. Like, I don't.
Right.
I'm not going to rate these movies. Like, I can rate like fun little movies if it's just like, for shits and giggles. But like, generally, any important review has already been written, so there's no real reason to review movies anymore.
And even the modern movies, like if a movie just comes out, I mean, people have already, like, this is the day now where it's very easy to see trailers. It's very easy to do your own research.
Yeah.
Like when I was a kid and growing up, and basically until they stopped running the show, which was the Siskel and Ebert review at the movies, it was called. I watched that because, you didn't really know a lot. Like, I didn't read the newspaper for a review. I would kind of, listen to them and they'd say, yeah, I like this, I didn't like that. And we did an entire segment, and maybe we'll do a stream on this, maybe a Phantom Zone, perhaps, talking about, the relevance of film criticism in for today's audience. Because is there any relevance? I don't even know if there is. Nowadays, you're just going to see the trailer, and and we've seen trailers before. Like, there's always been movie trailers, but you see a trailer, you can research online, you'll see what the director's done. There's a lot more information at your fingertips that we never had. So we had to kind of, watch Siskel and Ebert talk about it, and you just think, okay, is Siskel being fair? Like sometimes I'd watch something and I'd be like, oh, they didn't like, I don't know, like they didn't like Commando or something, or they didn't like some Schwarzenegger movie. And then you'd have to take that review with a grain of salt, because you'd be like, well, they don't really see these films as anything worth, investing time in, right? So then you'd be like, well, it looks cool to me, so I'm going to see it. So again, the reviews didn't matter. Like, even if Siskel and Ebert both said it sucked, and I'm like, well, I'm seeing Alien 3, like whether they're saying it sucks or not. So
I think it was more so the movies you didn't want to miss because they were the hidden gems you may not have had on your radar. I mean, the hilarious thing is that my father has never been on the internet ever. The man's 78, doesn't go near my computer.
Yeah.
He wouldn't know how to use it, to be honest with you. And I'm constantly thrown off by him, because he'll be like, he'll throw a DVD on, and how you fast forward through the trailers, because like I've seen these a million times. Right. And he's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm fast forwarding through the trailers. He's like, why? I want to see those. I'm like, why?
Right.
And he's like, no, these might be some things I haven't seen before. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, oh yeah, you don't do the internet. And same thing like before a movie. Like, how many times before a movie, J man, do you and I sit there and they show the trailers like, seen it?
Right. We're sitting there and they're showing us trailers and we know what's coming out. So yeah, it depends. If you're really savvy and you're into this kind of stuff, you're gonna know. Now you know, your dad is not gonna be going on the internet looking for stuff. So there's that. Hey Andrew, how's it going, dude? So yeah, we're gonna, once we give everyone's thoughts here, get your thoughts together of your review of the second movie, and we're gonna be asking your thoughts on the second movie, sort of your loose, you know, like 1 versus 2, part 1 versus part 2. I think it's important. Normally I don't like doing that too much, but I think it's important in this case because they're different. Like these two movies are different.
Yeah.
I actually watched part 1 and then I watched part 2.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I watched part 1, the extended version. And then my wife and I went out so my wife and I watched part 1. I hadn't seen it since the theater and I never saw the extended version. So then we went out for a walk, got some lunch, came back, and then we watched part 2. So very, very interesting experience doing that. So yeah. So they're saying now that this Suicide Squad, from now we're going to call it part 1, part 2, because I like, it's the same name. I know they put but that's stupid. They're saying that part 2 is getting reviewed bombed, and I didn't read the full article. I only glimpsed the headline, and I think they're trying to say that the people who are the Zack Snyder fans are trying to review bomb Suicide Squad 2, because I guess they're feeling that it's not part of, you know, his world. Like, this is what's being said now. Now I haven't checked. Maybe I should check Rotten Tomatoes while we're on here and see what the current levels are at here. Suicide Squad 2021. So right now it's 92% critics and 85 audience. Wow, that is high.
I've heard everyone who's seen it, with the exception of our friend at the Action Elite and his sort of group who's more into the, you know, quote unquote realistic movies, have loved this movie. Like wow. I've not heard anyone, like a lot of people, when the review was posted on Facebook, I looked at the comments below, which I never do. I never look at the comments when Owen posts a review, but I looked at this one and people were like, really? You didn't like it that much? Because we really did. Like there was like every comment was like that. And I'm like,
wow, okay. This is gonna be, guys, this is gonna be an exciting 3 hours, because there may be some hot takes here, to be honest. And to be really honest, there may be some really hot takes from me coming up, but and Steve and I did not discuss this beforehand, and my wife and I discussed both films, and I like to use her as an example because she knows nothing. Like, she likes Birds of Prey. She's like, oh, it's a lot of fun. She's like, it's colorful, it's fun. She loves Harley Quinn, and by loves, she really means I like Harley Quinn. She likes Harley Quinn, Margot Robbie. She likes Margot Robbie.
Robbie's
Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
So do I. That's why I bought this, and I bought every Funko Pop. I love Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn in the comics, that's a give or take. I've never really read enough of her in the comics to really form a proper opinion, to give an opinion as my official opinion on Harley Quinn, the character. But so I think once we get, Sean's going to be coming on in about maybe like 10-15, and I think I'd like to do our space review of part 1.
Okay.
And then I'd like to do part 2, and when we first do it, we're just going to say the numbers, and I just want to get a number just to get a starting point from where we're at, and then we're going to see where the conversation goes from there. And everybody in the chat, get your score out of 10. Get it ready in your mind, and then we're going to go through and we're going to get people coming and going and giving their thoughts. Okay. So yeah, I don't think this is being review bombed, because how is it being review bombed? It's got 85%. Like,
I don't.
There's 1,000 ratings on it.
I'll be honest with you. I don't think anyone pays attention to reviews anymore. I don't think anyone pays attention to ratings. I don't think anyone pays attention to any of it because, to your point, if I want to see the movie, I'm going to see the movie. I don't give a rat's ass what anyone says about it. I especially don't care what a critic says about it. The only people who might stop me or make me think twice is my inner circle, whose opinions I trust. If it's not them, then pretty much I don't care. Like, if you're getting paid to review, I almost have less of a less chance of me believing your opinion because this is your job. It's not your passion. Like, our day jobs. Would you say you're passionate about your day job?
Sure. No.
Yeah.
No, but I think being a critic and getting paid for one means you do like stuff because I don't think you accidentally become a critic. Like, it's not like you're accidentally working at McDonald's.
Right, but like a lot of film critics, like it's like when we first went to film class in university, I thought I was going in for film appreciation. I went in and like half the people there hated like most of the films I liked, and I was like, how can you hate all these movies and yet be a film person? Like,
I think that stems from them entering into this like snobbish, this big posh attitude of like, oh, this is a real film and this is not a real film, and they start getting into that mode of thinking. Whereas I'm looking at everything for what it is. I'm not reviewing DC comic movies and pitting them against, John Woo action films, and I'm not pitting them against Italian giallo movies, right? I'm not pitting them against classic era Hollywood, MGM or something, like. So you're never gonna get like my top 10 favorite movie. My top 10 favorite movies is like the weirdest top 10 ever. If you read that, you'd be like, this guy likes Conan, 2001, 12 Angry Men, Mad Max, and Flash Gordon. It's like, who's this guy? I've got a black and white movie which is 12 men talking in one room, and I've seen it. I've seen that movie more than any other movie that I own. That's my most watched film ever. I know almost all the dialogue. I could probably do it. In 2001 Space Odyssey, weird, trippy, sci-fi, Stanley Kubrick weirdness, right? Conan, like sword and sandal, gore, like, what is that, right? Flash Gordon, cheesy, silly, campy comedy, right? Army of Darkness so it's like Flash Gordon, Army of Darkness. I like Planet of the Apes 2001. I like Mad Max and Escape from New York. Like, they come in twos. Like, those are kind of my two favorite harder, action movies, which are a little bit more like, tougher, the sci-fi stuff. And then the fun movies like Star Wars, it's like, obviously that's in there as well. But Star Wars, I think, is a great mix. Like Star Wars and Superman are both in there. So that's kind of the two fantasy fun, yay Luke, yay Superman, that kind of movie. So it's like, it all makes sense. If you know me, it does make sense. What's Cosmos saying? Article stating James Gunn's Suicide review. But I'm with you. I don't think so
agree.
Because we're looking at it right now and it's friggin' 85. If they are trying to review bomb it, then the Snyder fans are not doing a good enough job. I don't think the Snyder fans are going to do that anyways.
No, I don't, because what's the point? What's the purpose? Like, there seems to be this almost like, if someone says something bad about a movie, oh, it must be a review bomb by someone with an agenda. Like, what? Right. Can't you just admit that people maybe don't like your movie? Like is that not, well, if someone sees that, like the Charlie's Angels things, I know we keep going back to Charlie's Angels, but that was the best thing. It's like, you don't like it, you didn't go see it because you hate women. No, it's because your movie looked like ass and I didn't want to see it. Like, I don't want to pay money to see it. I made my decision not to see Charlie's Angels probably before I even noticed a woman was in it.
I mean, they remade that already to varying degrees of success. The first one is mildly enjoyable. The second one's a bit of a train wreck. I don't know what you want me to tell you. And then you're bringing it back again, but you haven't injected it with juice, right? Like, if you're going to do Charlie's Angels, you got to do it like, I don't know if I ever showed you this movie or you, I don't even know if maybe you have it. The Heroic Trio.
Yeah, I have it. Yeah.
You have it. Right. Okay. Exactly. That it could be right. Like, I want 3 kick-ass girls that kick the crap out of people. Right.
Yeah.
Like I don't want like I mean they gotta be good looking as well too, right? But
Yeah.
I don't want it to be like, oh, we're just here and it's like, okay, I don't care. Like you need to do something.
Yeah, it's like you're a woman. I immediately must like your movie because you're a woman. I don't get it.
Yeah, and I don't know. I'm not seeing the review bombing because it's doing very well on Rotten Tomatoes, which is actually a little surprising. As a Snyder fan, I don't hate it. Yep, that's fine. I feel like it's the ones review bombing are the Snyder fans, yeah, in quote, who are trying to make people look bad. Yeah, look, the fandoms have different levels of people. There's the people that are the dicks and they're just assholes, and then you start to question in how he even put fans in quote. Like, are you a fan? Like, I'm a fan of DC property. I'm a fan of Marvel property. I don't want the movies to end. I want the films to continue. Like film was already, but I can understand people that don't like it. Yeah, and when we do, I think we'll just wait because I think Gray's. I don't know if Gray had a chance. I'm waiting to see if he emailed me back. He may not have seen it, and I know Sean saw it, so he's just coming on. He's just coming on a bit late. Once Sean comes on, let's just do our space review, and then we can see what, and we'll discuss the finer points. Oh, there you go. There's a message here. All right. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's not being review bombed. Like, I mean, give me a break. Not with 85%, with 1,000 plus people.
Like, what is the end goal? Like, we don't want the Suicide Squad to do good. Why? Like, I don't understand. Like, this is again that whole thought process around. I don't want a movie to be made. Okay,
right? Like, what does it affect you?
Yeah, why does it affect you? Is this guitar lessons or is this like, like, is this legitimate? Like, I was not pleased to hear about the Ghostbusters remake in 2016. They made it. Okay. So I exercise my right as a consumer not to see it. Okay.
Me too. I still haven't seen it, actually.
No, neither have I. There's a hell of a lot of movies I'll watch before that. Before trying that one out. But like, I'm not mad at the movie. I'm not mad at the people who made the movie. I'm not mad at the people who watched the movie and liked the movie because my father's one of them. He has it in his collection. Okay. Can't be mad at my father. What am I supposed to do? He's not sitting there with an agenda. The man's like, he's going to be 79 this year. He doesn't care. He's just like, well, that was fun. I'm like, okay. So I'm not mad at the movie, but I'm not going to support it if I don't want to. But I'm not going to sit there and be like, screw you. This movie should have been made. You guys are assholes. Like, what's the point of that?
Yeah, there's like this big. I don't know why people think there's like a war going on all the time over this crap. Look, and the thing is like I have liked and disliked movies that have been popular to like and popular to dislike my whole life, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it has been one continuous battle after another. I love Wonder Woman 1984. Oh, you're an idiot. Well, you're a dumbass. Okay, well, sure. Now that you've called me a dumbass, what is going to happen? Like, what am I supposed to commit suicide or something? Like,
yeah.
Like, it's like, that's not going to happen. Like, I don't know. Like, if I say I like it and someone makes fun of me, I don't care. That's fine. But if I say I like it and then someone's like, you're a dumbass, it's like, okay, so now that you've called me a dumbass, what am I supposed to do with that? Like, am I supposed, like, usually if somebody really likes something that, I don't like, I'll just be like, okay. Or if they want to, I'll say to them, I'm like, well, do you want me to explain why? It's like, because if you do, I'll explain why I don't like it, which we're going to do. We're going to explain our thoughts today, but it's like, I will say why. Now that might offend you because I might say things that, you're not going to believe. Right. And I've had this because there's people at my office. They're all normies and they loved Black Widow. And I said, yeah, it was okay. And they're like, whoa, what happened? And then I was like, look, do you have 15 minutes for me to go into the problems of this? And half the problems that I have are not going to be half the problems that you have, which is Taskmaster, right? Like the idea of the bait and switch of that, right? And luring fans in and selling merchandise and you know what I mean? And then it's like, oh, it's not the Taskmaster. Well, why did you sell me merchandise with the name Taskmaster on it? Right? Like, that kind of thing. Same with He-Man. Do you want me to go through this He-Man with you? Because I will dismantle this movie. Or are you content in the fact that you really liked Black Widow and I wasn't dying over it? Right? Like, we can leave it at that, right? Yeah. So same thing. All right, let's see what fanboy. Okay, we are the fans. People who write bad reviews just to make fans angry and divided. Yeah. I saw Ghostbusters in 2016. Now I yeah, I don't think that can happen. That's not, that I don't think
it is what it is. Like, you take a chance, you watch it, you're like, wow, that was a waste of time, and then you move on. And if someone asks you about it, you give your opinion and you move on. Like, unfortunately, we've all had to see movies that ended up, we've all had to take what J-Man refers to as we've all had to take the bullet, right? We've all taken the bullet at one time or another, and then we're like, oh God, that was terrible. And then you move on, man. Like, I don't think, like, how self-important are these people that they think that we all have nothing better to do than sit around scheming about writing bad reviews about your movies? Like, how like, you do not revolve, my world does not revolve around you. Like, it doesn't revolve around DC, it doesn't revolve around Marvel, sure as hell doesn't revolve around Disney, it doesn't revolve around any of this stuff. I don't, like, I'll sit down, I'll watch your movie, I'll bring in what I know about the property. If I don't know anything cool, then, it's a new experience for me. And then I'll tell you what I think. And, it's also expectation. Now, I thought about this. I'm actually a little bit easier on movies, I think, than I used to be, because I no longer have expectation, because it's just like, you get hammered over the head with all these movies, these new blockbusters coming out, these new sequels, these reboots, all this stuff coming out hammering you. Well, I have no expectation now, because how many movies, I was thinking about this, how many movies have we really been excited for? I mean, there's things we dutifully go see because we like the franchise and that, but how many are you excited for? Like, I can think of, like, Avengers, I can think of Tron Legacy. I was excited for
that. Yeah.
Like, I don't know. A lot of these things, it's like, because we know so much now, and we've seen the trailers, it's like, I don't know. Like, it's just, a lot of these things are like, like, I'm now coming in with my entire history of movies I've ever watched. So when I'm sitting there, it's like, well, you're probably not Inherit to Win, which is my favorite movie of all time. Okay, cool. You don't have to be. That's not the benchmark, but, that's the truth. You're probably not going to be Inherit to Win, so we'll see where you fall in between the best movie I've ever seen and the worst movie I've ever seen.
Yeah, I'm going through some of these reviews, and one guy gave it a bad review saying, so who are the good guys? There are no good guys. It's like, okay, well, yeah. Well, there are good guys in the Suicide Squad movie, and they're so good that they know they're going to get their head blown up, but they go anyway. But they somehow knew that someone back home would hit Amanda Waller on the head before she hit the button. How did they know that? We'll discuss. We will definitely discuss. That is what that. Okay, so the term that example of what I just gave you, that term is called plot hole, and that's more of like not a hole. That's more like a canyon. It's like, and the person who hit Amanda Waller and knocked her out, when Amanda Waller woke up, she killed that person because she just kills anybody that pisses her. Oh, wait, no, that didn't happen. Okay, okay, that didn't happen. Okay, and we know Amanda Waller's character very well, or not that well. Yeah. Can I bring something up? Sure, you can bring it up in chat, and then if it's non-Suicide Squad, yeah, you can bring it. If it's Suicide Squad, for sure. I mean, I don't. Which one was Walter or Waller? Sorry, Waller. Yeah. Okay, so you can already tell where I'm sort of coming from, because that was weird. That was very weird. Some things that happened kind of were very weird. Okay, so I'm looking up some other reviews here. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of top critics who are giving it good reviews. So there's 256, and like wow, it's like feels trying too hard to prove it's better than the previous one. Yeah, so I'm looking at some of the negative reviews just because the negative reviews are, hey, Ambassador, what's going on, dude? If you saw Suicide Squad, we're doing spoilers on Suicide Squad, and Ambassador, if you have your review out of 10, once Sean should be on in about 10 minutes or so, and then we're gonna do our review, which is Space. The way I do my reviews is Space, and Steve and Sean use that pretty much as well. Okay, so where are we at here? Cosmos. Where some of the characters should have stayed in the movie longer. Oh, I'm going to say yes to that, and I'm going to say, was there too many characters? Yes. We're going to talk about that, because if I had a briefing and I thought I need somebody to go and get this information package, this disc, and retrieve it from this evil dictator in Corto Maltese, I'm going to send someone who can control rats. Why would I do that? Johnson, come here. Why am I sending this person? At the end, they're gonna need her at the end. Oh, okay, yeah. Because other than that, her other qualifications are nothing. There are no other qualifications. But if you did not get no. There. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Why am I like? Oh boy, I'm gonna have some. This is gonna be very controversial, and I've literally had to do. I had to come to peace with this. You're doing yours later. All right, awesome. All right, awesome. That's where you see to take this. Cosmo, look, if Starro ever invades the planet, I would probably call, I don't know, Green Lantern or Superman. We don't need those losers.
Well, again,
we have 4 trillion rats.
I mean, if we're getting, question just for the chat.
Question for the chat.
A large alien starfish is on Earth. Where are they putting it while they're did they have the building already to insert Starro in, or did they have to build it?
If you build it, he will come. And
if they did, like, where did they leave Starro until they put him in the building? Like,
Ratcatcher 2.
And luckily, we're fortunate that Ratcatcher 2 is the only member of the Suicide Squad who is not a hardened psychopathic killer.
Right. That's why we should enlist her in the Suicide Squad and send her on missions. Hey, Sean.
What's up?
Come on.
I can't hear him. Can you hear him?
Yeah, I can hear him.
I am not.
This is my stupid KFC internet.
What the
I'm switching to McDonald's internet. That's it. I'm calling.
G-Man can't hear me.
I'm calling McDonald's tonight. Switching to McDonald's.
Now's your time to tell J-Man what you really think of him.
Yeah, you can say anything you want because I can't hear you at all.
Nice shirt.
Let me this usually works.
I dropped off.
Maybe not.
Yep. Hello.
It says having
Can
trouble. It says having internet trouble. Connect your wire. It is connected.
Internet sucks. Listen, J-Man can't hear my rant, so he's going to talk over me. But, like, you can hear me now or no?
Okay. So, Sean, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do space on part 1 and space on part 2.
Yeah.
But just the number, and then we'll talk about it. All right? Just the number, just to start off.
Just the one number?
Just the number, like not the full 10, like each category, and then we're going to discuss it, right? Because I just want to get like a baseline going, right?
I was surprised by my numbers, but anyways, yeah.
Well, all right, this is Suicide Squad Part 1, just called Suicide Squad. Part 1 only, because I wanna get a baseline for that, because we're gonna compare them. Obviously, this is gonna come up, right? What do you think? Now remember how space works is that story, pacing, artistry, characters, enjoyment. So for you guys who don't know, you get every category gets a either like 0 means it's terrible, 1 means it's good, like okay, 1 is okay, average, 2 means it was really good. So the story was either 0, 1, or 2, or something in between if you want to do halves. Now that would mean that any given movie should have between 4 and 6. Any given movie is usually between 4 and 6 to say that was like an average movie is 5. A 5 out of 10 means that was okay. I watched it. I might watch it again 100 years from now, maybe not. If someone forced me to watch it, I would be like, okay. 4 is just slightly, 4 out of 10 is like, nah, I'd prefer really not to watch this again. And 6 is like, well, if my buddy hasn't seen it, maybe we'll watch it together, something like that. So if a movie gets 7 or more, that's when you're getting into, okay, that was pretty good, right? If it gets below 4, that's where you're like, I didn't like this. Okay, so most movies should score between 4 and 6 based on this method. Okay, so let's go Steve first. Steve, story on Suicide Squad Part 1.
0.
Okay, Sean, story?
0.5.
0.5. Okay, my story's a 1. Like it's all right.
It's high.
It's high. Steve, I watched Suicide Squad and then I watched Part 2 right after. I watched them both together. Extended cut for Part 1. Okay, so Steve, my pacing for the first, I'm giving 1 for everything. I'm giving Suicide Squad Part 1 5 out of 10. Just to make mine easier. Steve, what's your pacing on Part 1?
1.5.
Okay. Sean?
1.
Artistry, Steve?
1.
Sean?
1.
Okay. Characters?
1.5.
Yeah. Characters, Sean?
1.
Enjoyment value, just overall funness, Steve?
1.
Sean?
1.
All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So Sean's giving 4.5 to Suicide Squad Part 1. Does that sound accurate to you? Steve, you're giving it 1, 2, 3, 4. You're giving it 5 as well. 5 out of 10. Okay. Sean, would we be able, through talking, to convince you to go to 5 out of 10 for Suicide Squad Part 1, or you're very firm on that?
I'm firm on 4.5. I'm teetering on a 4, but
okay, no. That's good to know. That's good to know. Steve, are you pretty firm on 5? I'm firm on 5.
I'm firm on 5.
Okay, so general consensus is like, look, Suicide Squad had some cool parts, right? It wasn't too bad. There was some wonky shit going on, which keeps it in the average for me, but slightly below average for Sean. Okay, let's do Suicide Squad Part 2. So this is Part 2. Part 2. Electric Boogaloo.
Yes. Cruise control.
Anyway, Cruise control. Okay, so I'm gonna give the story 1. Steve?
1.
Sean?
1.
Pacing, I'm giving 1. Steve?
1.
Sean?
1.
Yep. Artistry 1. Steve?
I'll give 1.5.
Yep. Sean?
1.5.
1.5. Characters? Well,
1.
I'm giving it a 1. 1.
1.
Okay, so and then enjoyment?
1.
I'm giving it 1. All right, so the final is mine's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So Steve, you're at 5.5, and Sean is also at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5. So you guys agree? Are you firm on 5.5? Does that sound right? It's just slightly better than Part 1.
Yeah, I mean 5.5 or 6, but 5.5 sounds like a solid rating.
Yeah.
I'm giving them equal. I somehow wish that in some world we took the basic story of Part 2, which is an actual covert mission, right? Yeah. Going to Corto Maltese and taking out a dictator, / gathering the evidence that the States was part of the Starro program, and retrieving that information. That is a Suicide Squad mission. If they had put that with the first movie and taken maybe Polka Dot Man and put him in the first movie, and then everyone else can go. And then that first movie has the same people with Polka Dot Man. Remove Enchantress. That entire thing is dumbassery, right? We'll talk about Joker, and then have that. And then the first movie, like my thing is like the tone of the first movie was a way better tone.
Yeah.
And I hate saying tone like I'm some posh, critic. But oh my God, I'm watching everything is a joke. And we said this. Now we did point this out. We were like, oh, this looks like a fun movie, but you know what? Too much fun is no fun.
Yeah.
There's so much joking around that I'm like, this is all stupid. And it's making fun of itself. Like Bloodsport and Peacemaker, they're like, well, we're just the same. Yeah, you are. So why do we need the both of you? I don't get it.
They should have had Will Smith turn up and say we're both the same too,
right?
Because that's literally the same character.
They both have a daughter, and she's using the daughter as leverage. That is so lazy. And what's really bad is that I just watched part 1 and then watched part 2. I'm like,
it's like, oh my God, they switched out Will Smith for Idris Elba.
Yeah,
who's an upgrade, but hey.
So Sean, I'm not sure if you had heard me say this.
No.
Why is Ratcatcher 2? Firstly, on the Suicide Squad at all? Like, why is she part of Task Force X at all? She's not a hardened criminal who's like a rapist or murderer or whatever. Number 2, why are you sending her on this covert mission? Because rats aren't going to play a part in any of this stuff. It's like the only reason they send her is for her to use all the rats to kill Starro. And I'm thinking, okay, so Green Lantern and the Green Lantern Corps fighting Starro are like, oh my God, guys, it's Starro. This is tough. And then Superman comes in. Yeah, I'm the fucking Superman. It's like, let's bring the heavy guns in. It's like, guys, wait a minute. Let's get Ratcatcher 2. She'll stop them. And I'm thinking that is lame as shit. That entire last 20 minutes.
Can the rats breathe underwater? Can Harley Quinn breathe underwater?
Sure. Harley Quinn can always survive. But look, Harley Quinn is Jack Flack. She always escapes.
Her power is plot armor. And
that is her power is plot armor.
Go keep her alive.
I watched an interview with James Gunn, Margot, and John Cena, and she really grabbed the keys and really flipped around and really used her foot to unlock herself.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
She really did it, and James Gunn was so devastated because when they were watching the dailies again, he didn't realize that the little poofy thing on her shoulder was kind of covering her face. So if you watch it again, it looks like they were trying to cover her face, and it's like, no, and that again really was her.
Yeah.
Anyway, so my problems were like the entire first 20 minutes can be utterly eliminated. That entire like having 2 teams, it's like, why? You just killed a bunch of characters for no reason. They literally landed and died. They didn't die during a mission in a cool way. They landed and died. So waste.
And I'm confused. I thought Mongol can survive fire. It's like she's the daughter of Mongol.
She's a Mongol. She shouldn't have been killed at all. How did they catch her?
Just get another. Why is she even there?
Why is she even? Oh my God,
she can beat every single one of everyone on that island and everyone on the Suicide Squad. Like it's like a different long gal or something. I don't know. It's weird.
I did get the 2-team thing and it was very much a Suicide Squad-esque thing to do from Waller, which is I got my cannon fodder. They're going to draw all the troops over here. My A-team is going to be on the separate beach. There's going to be no resistance. They're going to get in there.
Right. But why is Rick Flag and Harley Quinn on the wrong team?
I mean, that I can't tell you.
Yeah, it's a Suicide Squad thing, but to me it reeks of disrespect for the characters.
Oh yeah.
I'm just watching David Ayer had respect for the Suicide Squad characters.
Well, no respect for Slipknot, but yeah.
Yeah, okay. But you need to have someone bite the dust.
Or Adam
right?
Beach. Yeah.
Immediately to have
but at least he was doing stuff, and he died because he tried to escape. Like it was a Suicide Squad thing. Suicide Squad 1, and I watched the extended cut. They're like, okay, we got to get out of here. What are we gonna do?
Yeah.
Like they're always trying to get out, and the helicopter thing, that is a big mistake. Deadshot would not have missed. He would have hit Harley Quinn and be like, she's dead. So that was a mistake. But there's a big mistake here where the Suicide Squad are like, we're going to defy orders and we're going to march and kill Starro. And it's like, I'm just going to blow your head up. No, you're not, because I use my telepathy and my mind reading ability to realize that there's someone in your office that's going to knock you out, Waller, before you press the button. It's like, huh?
And let me ask you, like, this is from the comics. Why does Amanda Waller have underlings? Amanda Waller never has underlings because of the exact reason that you saw in the movie. Someone could knock her out and stop her from killing, like detonating a bomb. She, like, Amanda Waller is absolute power. There is no one around her. She is complete and utter authority. So to have these underlings who are like, oh, you know, so-and-so's here, like, what are you doing? Like, there is no one like that. It is Amanda Waller is Task Force X. That is it. There is no one, there's no hierarchy. There's no like, oh, she's part of this big. Amanda Waller is the frigging authority. There's no one else. And like, for her to like be knocked out was ridiculous. But then for her to just be sitting at her desk with like that ice against her head, I'm like, so the person who did this to you is like gone, right? Like they've been sent to Siberia or something, right? Like at the very least, if not murdered. Like, what do you talk about? Amanda Waller still to this day has not been done right. She was done better, I think, in the first one and the second one. But she's still not been done right, where it's like, Amanda Waller, you just need her. You just need Viola Davis. And Viola Davis does everything. She's like, I set off the bombs. I tell the people where to go. I give them the intel, all that stuff. There is no team. Like, having this team was absurd to me. I'm like, why is there this team of people here? Like, and they're sitting there and they're like, they're having chit chat and betting on who's. I'm like, what is going on? Is this a freaking like the Deadpool? Like, what are you talking about?
Everything is a joke. Like, every scene has a joke. Like, there's not one part where it's like, let's just have a normal scene. I hate that in movies. Yeah.
Now I got a question.
Yeah.
Because this was a real. When I was watching the movie, I legit had this problem. What was the difference between Bloodsport's character versus Flag's character versus Peacemaker's character?
Right, exactly. They make fun of that in the movie.
I couldn't tell them apart. Like, it's like alpha male, alpha male, alpha male. I'm like, yeah, but what is your... Like, I felt Suicide Squad 1, they at least had different personalities.
No, they did.
In this thing,
it's better.
They were all the same. Like, other than Polka Dot Man and Ratcatcher 2, they were all the same character. I was like, why is Polka Dot Man dancing in this? Like, why are? Never mind.
Yeah, with all the moms and stuff. Yeah,
with all the moms like that.
I liked his angle of he just sees his mom all the time. Yeah. So that could have been his thing. He's crazy and wacky and he sees his mom all the time, and that's a joke. But no, that's a joke. But then there's also, the jokes of King Shark, who's a loser. And then there's also the jokes of what's his name? Bloodsport versus Peacemaker. Oh, my bullets are better than yours. No, mine are even smaller, and I hit more targets. It's like, I don't care. It's like everybody has a joke thing at their end. Like, nobody's a character that's a character. My God, Suicide Squad 1, I think, is maybe better. I think maybe it is better.
This is James Gunn. How does this compare to the two Guardians of the Galaxies? Like, the characters there have personalities, right? But it's the same, especially that was a complaint of part 2. That, like,
I agree.
You have all this somber stuff, but it's like joke. Nothing can be taken seriously. Even when there's a somber moment, like Drax has to say something stupid. Right?
Yeah.
I said that. Hey, you guys.
I love part 2 though. I think part 2 is a masterpiece. But whatever.
I love part. No. I really like part 2. But no, I said that, and me and Steve were like, we looked at each other like, why is Drax the worst character?
In this
ever?
Thing, yeah.
And we're both like, yeah, he was such an interesting character in the first movie, and then he's he's like, you're so ugly. Oh, but you're so ugly. Oh, you're ugly. It's like, oh my God.
That was dumb.
It's like, I get it. She's not really ugly, but you keep saying it. I get it. Guardians 2 is a fun movie. I rewatched it again. I liked it more the second time, and
me too.
I had less problems the second time around. But Suicide Squad does not fit the James Gunn formula. I don't know. I think the part one is overall better because like Joker still sucks, but at least he's threatening. Like I gotta say, so watching part one again, Joker is threatening and he is scary.
That's why I got out of rewatching it too. Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, he's scary and threatening. He's not scary and threatening in the way Joker should be, but the character they presented was threatening. So again, really makes me want to say, why didn't they fight the Joker? Why didn't they fight the Joker? He's a constant presence in that film where he continuously comes back to foil them. That should have been the main villain. The problem with Suicide Squad Part 1 is the Enchantress sucks. She kind of does suck too, but she's not a great villain. She's not a great villain for the Suicide Squad. That entire plot structure is god-awful garbage. The plot structure of sending a team to a foreign land, fighting the dictator, all that is good.
Yeah, so correct me if I'm wrong. Part 1, the mission is not to fight the gods and all. The mission is to extract Pamela Waller.
Right,
but the thing is that it's a big secret so that they can have an Act 2 twist.
Right.
The whole thing is ridiculous because of that. It's like they spent all this time setting up the witch rising to power and everything, and it's like this is happening on the side, and then they're like, okay, you have a mission. It's a big mysterious mission. My dog being an asshole. Okay. It's a big mysterious mission, and then it turns out that they're just there just to get like Waller, and that's it. And it's lame. And the thing is, the surprise is lame too. So and then later on they're like, let's go fight those gods, I guess. It's a terribly structured movie. Part 1.
Yeah, it's just like I don't really know what the hell is going on in part 1. Whereas at least I did, for the most part, understand what was going on in part 2. It doesn't mean I necessarily liked everything I saw. The whole like god awful, like this guy is like, I want to marry Harley Quinn. I'm like, ooh,
that entire thing was so dumb.
Thought that one up. That was like a pinch me. Am I here moment? Like, what is this your first day with Harley? Like knowing the Harley Quinn character, like this is not going to work. Like, and the whole thing with the rebels. Oh, we won in the end. No one cares. No one
killed all of them as a joke. They showed up and killed all of them. It's like, oh, sorry, we didn't know they were the rebels. Isn't that funny? Well, not really. I don't know. No, that's not really funny. You just killed a bunch of these rebels who are fighting for their freedom, and now you're good guys again at the end.
Okay, my God. I'll get back.
Deal with your doggy.
Deal with it.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know. And can I ask another question? What thinking did the thinker do?
Wasted. Oh my God. Thinker was better in the Flash TV series.
So was King Shark.
Tell me now, by the way, I just started watching Flash when Barry was like Spock, like logical Flash. I was like, this is the best. I thought he was the best. And he's like, Cisco, your girlfriend's useless. I'm like, yes, your girlfriend is useless. It's like, what about Captain Singh? No, he's useless too.
Yeah.
Like, we should save Iris. I'm like, yeah, I agree with you. You should save Iris over those two. And I'm like thinking, why am I agreeing with the mean Barry? I like mean Barry. He's way better. But no, side note, King Shark was better in the Flash. At least he was scary.
Yeah.
I just don't know.
Was a goof. Like it was a joke. Like it was almost like I don't know what James Gunn was doing with this movie. I don't really know what he was doing with this movie. I will say it was nice to see Starro on the big screen. I never thought they would do Starro.
Looks cool.
That's cool. I have no idea how they beat Starro. I don't think the Suicide Squad should have beat Starro in a perfect world, which will never happen. The Justice League should have shown up and said, we'll take it from here. Because, like, rats went into Starro, and then Starro was just eaten by rats.
There's too many gimmies. So there's too many things you're forced to accept in this movie that turn it into a little bit of a train wreck. I have to believe that Ratcatcher 2 and Double C is saying, or is it Double C who said, someone said that she robbed a bank or something? Well, Cosmos John, sorry, apparently she robbed a bank. she should not be on Task Force X, period. So I have to believe that she would be on it. I have to believe that Waller would select her for this mission, which is a reconnaissance mission, right? It doesn't make any sense.
No, they have to destroy the building.
They'd have to destroy the building, right? So Ratcatcher cannot destroy buildings.
Yeah. Well,
so she has no purpose being there. She's only there. She's literally only there in order to use her rat powers at the very end. And she conveniently survives all other things only to use her rat powers at the end to destroy Starro, which is lame anyways. So there's 3 gimmies and a lame ending. And I'm like, and then Harley Quinn stabs the eye. I'm like, okay, but whatever. Starro, or what's her face, is the rats are eating it. So what's the difference? I don't know. And then all of the guys die. I know it's the Suicide Squad and people should die, like Slipknot died in the first one and El Diablo died. Yeah, but El Diablo died in a cool thing. He's like, no, I'm going to do this. Like, El Diablo was great, actually, in that first movie.
He was great until they made him a CGI mess, but yes.
Yeah. I didn't like that. But he died for something. He died, there's a lot of dumbassery in part 1, which is like, oh, the Flag just leaves the bomb underneath the sewer. He's like, oh, I left a bomb there. Why would you leave a bomb there? It's like Rick Flag Rick Flag is walking around with Deadshot's daughter's letters.
Yeah, from Deadshot. I just happen to have these letters I never delivered to you by your daughter to convince you to go on this mission. I just happen to have them on hand.
Like why does he have those?
On a dangerous mission, it's like gun check, ammunition check, letters never sent to Deadshot check. Like
I know. Thank God I've got those. And like I just don't understand. I wish I could merge those 2 movies.
Mm-hmm.
I like Harley Quinn, and my wife really likes Harley Quinn and all of them. She's great. It felt like they needed to give her something to do, which is why they had that whole little subplot of the guy wanting to marry her. I did not understand what was going on there. I thought it was funny where she just shoots him. She's like, yeah, I promised myself if I ever met someone, I just shoot them. I'm like, okay, that's kind of funny.
I mean, I did think the Harley Quinn character was handled better in this one than the first one, because half the time I was confused what she was doing. At this time, I'm like, at least like, I like the scene where it's like, I'm just going to, what's the like when he gives her the javelin, she's like, what's it for? And she's like, I got this javelin. It's like, and she literally like, that is a very Harley Quinn thing. She's like, I got to find the javelin. Yeah. I was meant to do something with it. I got to figure it out.
It's like, what am I supposed to do with it?
So what's the best Harley Quinn movie then, between the 2 Suicide Squads and Birds of Prey, which I think is Harley Quinn the movie, but
Birds of Prey,
yeah,
for Harley Quinn, because she's got all the hallmarks of Harley Quinn in that, like, and it's like she's got the glitter guns, she's the star, she drives it, like it's very much like she would go turn into a mess if the Joker dumped her, and then she would go and do crazy things, and then like it's I think it is pretty much Harley, Birds of Prey. Now, is Birds of Prey a good movie? I don't know, but
no.
Like
there are so many out of all of these movies, if we count Birds of Prey, all of these the Harley Quinn trilogy, the only character that was scary and threatening was the Jared Leto Joker, because Enchantress was lame as shit. Starro is just a CGI guy, so there's no personality there. He looks wicked though, like he looks awesome.
Yeah,
like,
he
crushing
looks
the stuff, that was awesome.
Yeah.
And like putting the things on the face, that's wicked. Like
that's
all
awesome.
that looks cool.
So
but
you think that
this
is a good treatment of Starro? That's a good treatment of Starro then, right? Like in a movie, it's his first big. Is it?
He looks cool, but he got defeated by rats. Like he's like Starro is call up the Green Lantern Corps villain. Call up Superman.
It's one of those relative things where it's like they shoot directly at Starro and there's no damage, and they're shooting directly at his eye. Now you can say that the javelin is made of some special something. I can't remember. I didn't look it up.
Right.
But okay, fine. It's special, so it punctures his eye. How can the rats then chew through his veins and stuff like that? I thought he was invulnerable to like bullets. So it's one of those relative things. Plus, how can they all breathe underwater? It's like it's just it's movie convenience, So yeah,
but it's bad too because you're right. It's like, well, they're shooting at him and nothing damages, but a rat's bite can do it. Now the other thing too, it's that okay. So yeah, the javelin, maybe it's special. I don't know. They never said it in the movie, but maybe it's a special.
I think it is in DC Comics. Yeah.
Yeah, it could be. It could be a special. But they should have said
whatever.
something. But they should have said something. Really,
the man's name is literally Javelin, so I'm pretty sure the Javelin's special.
Yeah. Okay, and that's fine. But like, it's just so I said this while you're gone. There's too many gimmies. I have to believe that Ratcatcher 2, who's a sweet girl, did some stuff that's so evil that she deserves to be punished by being on the Suicide Squad. Secondly,
I keep seeing this, but I thought to be on Suicide Squad, well, in the movies, is that you're not especially evil. You're just you've been jailed or captured by the law, and you have powers, and that's it. I thought that was the only thing, right?
Like the way to be on the Suicide Squad is A, you're in Belle Reve, and B, Amanda Waller has a use for you. That's why you're on the Suicide Squad.
Yeah. So there's a use there. But anyway, sorry, go on, J-Man. I cut you off.
Yeah, no, hold on. I'm just gonna send a link to Zack Snyder guy to he wants to give
Zack Snyder,
Zack Snyder fanboy.
So Zach, what do you
Okay, so Gray, I don't know if you missed our so basically we did my space review. I don't know if you heard. So I'm giving both Suicide Squads a 5 out of 10. Both of them are 5 out of 10.
Okay.
And Steve gave the first one
5 out of
5
10.
and the second one 5.5. And Sean gave the first one 4.5 and the second one 5.5 based on our rating system. Pineapple. I'll get you in there. I just want to hear from Greymalkin, and then I'll let you guys. I'm gonna let Zack Snyder fanboy in first because he's got to leave. So I'm gonna let Gray talk, then Zack Snyder fanboy, then we'll get to the next person. So because everybody wants to share their thoughts, so let's bring people in as we go. But Gray, you can stay on. So did you see part 2 yet?
Yeah, I did. I saw it last Thursday. It was my birthday.
Oh yes, yes.
So
happy belated birthday.
Happy birthday.
Hey, my wife just gave me these. I'm in a good space right now.
Yeah, I see on your videos you keep piling them. Hey, you took them out of the package and you put them back.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, because they're mine. They do that.
Yeah, like you have one video. I'm like, oh, I was like, oh, he took them out of the package because that's what I do.
Yeah.
And then in the next one, you put them all back. I'm like, wait, what happened there? You put them all. You're
you
like,
know what? You know what? My wife was
you
saying,
took them out the first time.
better just keep them in the boxes so you can stack them. I'm like,
oh, I got
like,
you.
Yeah. But Suicide Squad, I have a little. The second one I like a lot better than the first one.
Yep.
But I kind of like the first one too because both of those movies came out on my birthday.
Yeah.
So I'm giving them like a 5. The first one gets a 5.5. The music did a lot for it, but I feel like they could have incorporated more DC lingo. Like instead of crazy, they should have called it Joker.
Right.
Like Joker should have been a term for crazy. It's like you guys are jokers.
Right.
Like no, but Suicide Squad 2, I did not know what it was. I thought it was going to be this huge cast. I did not know they were going to kill everybody.
Right off the bat, yeah.
Also, I don't think Captain Boomerang's dead. I don't think he's dead.
He might not. Well, Peacemaker's alive at the end because he's got his own series coming out. So he's alive in the end credits.
He can survive a knife to the neck, so cool.
Yeah,
or a bullet to the neck, so cool.
So what is with Bloodsport? So he just takes stuff like he has a death touch. So he can make anything a weapon, right?
So he evolves weapons, right? In the movie, they did it from his costume, but he can basically evolve weapons over time. Right. I will say, I was really happy that they did the helmet right because Bloodsport is currently in the Suicide Squad in the comics, and the helmet looks like an alien head, right? It's got that bulbous thing, and it's got the teeth. I was really happy to see that they at least did the helmet.
Yeah. And it's like that's not. It's like also Harley Quinn was actually useful. I'm like, oh wow, you are actually crazy. Okay, and then how they killed Flag, I'm like, not Flag.
Like Flag dying was weird too, but my whole thing was like, there's too many plot. There's so much plot contrivances where it's like, oh, we're going to go fight Starro after Amanda Waller says we shouldn't. It's like, well, she's going to blow up your head. No, she won't, because there's someone that works with Amanda who's going to knock her out right before she presses the button. How do you know that? It's like, oh, you know, Sean said this, pointed this out. It's like bullets, nothing can stop Starro. Bullets bounce off him, except rats can bite him. So rats are stronger than bullets. It's like, okay. It's like Ratcatcher 2 has zero purpose to be on a mission to go destroy stuff because she's not a bomb expert. No. But yet they sent her, and they knew that in the end she would need to use her rat powers to kill Star. It's like there's so many things, and everything is a joke. Every single thing is some kind of a joke. I'm just like, nope. Like as soon as it started, and all those guys died, I'm like, oh man, they all died. I'm like, seriously, like, I don't know. I just felt that it was a bit disrespectful to a lot of the characters. I know it's funny, but it's like have like 6 or 7 squad members and 1 or 2 of them die, and then, you know, like who's going to be in the next movie now? It's like there's nobody left. I'm like, well, it should always be Flag and Harley Quinn, and then you can rotate the roster. Right. But if you kill them all, you'll never have them come back. It's like, and what did the Thinker do? The Thinker and King Shark were way better in Flash.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the Thinker didn't devise anything. All right, so you're Greymalkin, what was your rating for part 2? I'm sorry, what was out of 10?
It's fine. I like Idris Elba. I like Peter Capaldi.
Everyone likes him.
Right. I like Peter Capaldi. I like,
for sure, everyone likes him too.
Cena was amazing.
He's funny.
He was just so fun. Like
funny.
The You Can See Me guy is actually, he has comedic timing. Yeah. I'm giving this I'm getting this a 7. I enjoy it. It's probably going to go down eventually, but I'm still kind of high off of it. So like, all right. 7, probably get down to like a 5.5.
All right.
Over time.
Okay, Why didn't Amanda Waller just kill everybody in the room after she got knocked?
No, that's what I'm saying. It's like it doesn't make any sense. In the first movie, she killed all those people just for being there. They're like, they weren't cleared for this information. It's like someone hit you on the back of your head. She should have got him and be like, yo, somebody tell me right now who hit me, or I'm killing everybody. And then after they point her out, she should still kill everybody and say, you didn't stop her from hitting me.
Yeah. And then all of her was like, wait, they're all 4. They're like, because they were taking bets on who was gonna die. So like you're like, now they're worried about, oh, you're gonna kill kids? Fuck them kids.
No, it's so because they're not thinking of characterization. They're just thinking, oh, that'll be fun. They're betting on it. But that's not who that person. Like they're never thinking of the character. All right, let's get Simp. Simp, what's your? Firstly, tell me your rating out of 10, and then tell me why.
I changed my name. That'll explain a lot.
Yeah,
but he was for Captain. You mean Captain? You got Cat Pain there.
I messed up. No, I was typing fast.
All right, so what's your rating out of 10, and then why?
For both movies?
Sure.
The first one, I gotta give a 6.5.
Oh, wow. Okay. Second one?
It's a 6.
6? Yep, okay.
What? I like the first one more. I don't know why. I just like it. I think it's because the character of Deadshot and how the other characters interact, and I think because of the music helped a lot.
There was 2 good songs on that soundtrack.
No, there's only one good song in the new one, and that's Rain, which now I love so much, but that's the only good song I remember out of all the other new songs.
I mean, I think I like I know I gave them both 5 out of 10, but the thing is, Joker, the artist called Joker in this movie, he is threatening and scary. And he is the only threatening and scary thing in all of the Harley Quinn trilogy. Like, he's the only scary thing at all.
Joker should have been the villain in Birds of Prey.
Joker should have been the villain.
Yeah.
In Suicide Squad and in Birds of Prey. Then really.
Okay. I was sorry.
They messed it up. Anyways, but yeah. So it's just too jokey. It's like it's so jokey that it's not Suicide Squad, and then it's also not threatening. It's okay for Guardians of the Galaxy because that's a fun, silly space adventure movie, and you can have some fun with it. But Suicide Squad, the tone and the look was better in the Ayer cut. And I got to tell you too, I know I'm not a fan of these characters, but it's kind of cool to have Batman and Flash
Yeah.
You know, in it, you know what I mean? Saying it's kind of cool to have them in that first movie, just as like a cool thing. It's like, yeah, Batman caught him. You know, I like that. You know. Yeah. Okay, sorry. Go ahead, Greymalkin.
Okay. With Suicide Squad, I didn't hate it. I don't see how. Damn it! I liked it for what it was. I mean, the fact that it was a team book and I have Mexican music playing in the background.
No, the problem with Suicide Squad 1, like the good thing about Suicide Squad 1 is the actors, especially the two leads, look like they're having fun. Yeah. Right? And they're having fun with the roles. And they are more distinct. They do feel more like an authentic Suicide Squad team where they're mismatched, but they're like, I guess we got to come along and do this. Like this Suicide Squad team, they didn't feel like a team. They felt like three characters who were the same: Ratcatcher 2 and Polka Dot Man, and then like I don't know, like, and then King Shark, who was just like, can I just say the design for King Shark in this was fucking horrible.
Horrible.
Like, he looked
horrible,
like one of those hand puppets. I kept waiting for someone to like extract her hand from his ass.
So who saw King? Okay, so who saw King Shark in the Flash TV series?
Oh, I did.
He's way better. Isn't he better in the TV show?
Oh yeah, he is. But
no,
that's
scary. That's movies though. They always have to make the big character really dumb or really lovable. Otherwise, like, why would he?
I like Killer Croc in the first Suicide Squad more because
he was I agree with you.
That was racist.
I also love the line where he says, "I'm beautiful on the outside."
I like that. Okay, so you know what that's called? That's called character moments. Like, you know, where are they in this movie? The only character that was a character to me was Polka Dot Man because he had a thing where he saw his mom everywhere.
I mean, it got overused to the point where I just didn't like it.
Maybe a little bit, but it was funny to me. Having the giant mom attack is super funny. And I don't know. I thought that was funny, but like seriously, like honestly, it's like take Polka Dot Man, put him in Suicide Squad Part 1. Take the plot, or sorry, not the plot, the story. Take the story of Suicide Squad 2, which is infiltrating Corto Maltese or whatever. Put that as the mission in Part 1. Same tone, a little bit darker, more sinister. The squad trying to screw each other and escape and all that. That's much better. Amanda Waller's a mean lady in the first one, so keep that. And then you can have some of the stuff from Part 2, which is the action was very clear. I could see things better in Part 2. It was filmed better, though. I like the darkness of Part 1, but it was filmed better in Part 2. I could see everything clearly. Yeah. They need to drop the jokes, like one joking character, like Harley Quinn is jokey funny, and that's it. Polka Dot Man is crazy because he sees his mom. That's another joke. That's it. You don't have to have everybody joking. And Killer Croc was great. He looked pretty mean. Like if I saw him, I'm like, oh shit, this guy's pretty mean looking, right? I liked him. And what's with Idris Elba and Will Smith having the exact same storyline? We both have daughters. It's like, okay.
What, other people can have daughters? Like what?
But it's the same thing. I will mess with your daughter if you don't do this.
It didn't pay off. Like
it paid off for me in the first movie.
Deadshot loved his daughter. Deadshot loved his daughter. Bloodsport hated his daughter. Like
no. The whole yelling match where we're just screaming,
that was ridiculous.
Like I didn't even feel any connection there. I just felt like they hated each other to their core, and they didn't want anything to do with each other.
But like, okay, so he you know, at the end he saves Corto Maltese, he saves all those people, and his daughter's just like, oh, there's my dad. Well, you hated each other.
Moment in the movie.
Can I ask Sean a question? Can I ask specifically Sean, because Sean and I have the same sort of upbringing. Steve and I don't have the same upbringing in terms of like how we functioned as kids. Sean, do you remember the days of having dinner and watching the news to see your father saving the
news? Was boring to me, man.
What? I don't watch the news.
I didn't even know Chernobyl happened until years later.
I didn't know about anything. People were like Ronald Reagan. I'm like, yeah, that actor, I remember him. It's like, well, he's the president. What? The president of what?
Yeah.
It's like, I watched
when you
cartoons
were
and movies. When you
Yeah,
were a
back
kid.
then, back then, especially with like one TV in the house, like 6 o'clock wasn't the news. 6 o'clock
Right.
was like some other entertaining thing for the
It was
kid
V.
to keep the kids like quiet. Like we
News,
didn't
I don't-
watch the news. Yeah, that was weird. They always have that in like anything, right? I can believe it in Rocky 4 where the kid is
Sure.
watching his dad fight.
Yeah, because he's watching his dad fight.
Yeah,
And this
but-
is the
but-
biggest fight in the world
Yeah.
because it's
No,
America
but
versus
like
Russia.
it's like I didn't see them say breaking news. It's like it's not the biggest fight in the world. We didn't get news coverage of like other countries getting bombed and stuff. It's like we may have gotten some
it
coverage
happens all the time.
no, I'm
It
talking about
happens
the
all the
fight
time.
between Rocky
and
and
it's
Rocky,
you mean
no,
Rocky.
he's
no,
talking
he's
about
talking
Rocky
about-
Are you
4.
talking about Rocky? Okay,
Like
good, yeah,
it's
sorry.
plausible that if a giant starfish attacked a nation, then yes, it probably would be breaking news.
Yep,
So
I agree.
yeah.
It could be breaking news.
But it
But it was
happened
just
really
so,
But
fast.
why are they playing the reruns of it?
yeah,
the
like, it's just
reruns
so
of-
weird.
yeah.
It's like they weren't playing it live. They're playing. It's like they're like, oh, here's the aftermath, and here's your father saving the day. It's like, okay, that's weird. I don't
But
know.
that proves Waller's point though. That now their mission is public. It's like that's
Right.
that's not what should happen. right?
No, yeah, exactly. Like you would think they would not want to be on TV at all.
And it gets into the dynamics of okay, so this happens in this universe, and the Suicide Squad is there, but they're not supposed to do anything. How does then Superman know, and how does then Wonder Woman know, and are they able? Does the Flash know, and are they able to get there? It's like, are they contacted by anybody? It's like I don't know.
No,
Yeah,
no,
like,
I
okay,
get-
This
so-
universe, yeah.
let's ask Captain Boomerang fan. What does this take place? Okay, firstly, is this is part of the Snyder universe?
Yeah,
Is
they
this-
talk about Superman.
So why?
But
where is Superman? Is
James
this
Gunn
after
said that
Justice
he
League
doesn't
or
know
what?
if this is Henry Cavill Superman or someone else.
It's a
Plane.
Superman. So a
So where
Superman
is-
exists in this
where is
world and
that
Starro
Superman?
attacked.
Where's
In
that
the
Superman?
ICU still. Let's just go with
Yeah.
that.
Oh, from the
Let's
Kryptonite
let's
Bullet?
just say that. Let's just go with that.
Well, where's the
But we're
Flash and
going with
Wonder
that.
Woman?
No real evidence. Okay.
How many people have shot Superman with a kryptonite bullet now?
Yeah, whatever.
a-
I'm tired of that
Like,
trope.
bullet.
Listen,
Yo,
I'm
he
talking
won
about blood sports. He's still in the ICU because of blood sport. Let's just
yeah,
go with that.
because the bullet. Remember this? I'm not sure if you guys may be all too young to remember this. Faster than a speeding bullet.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if it's kryptonite or not.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like I have a kryptonite bullet. I'm faster than a speeding bullet. Bang!
I
you
just-
missed. Like,
I'm just curious about how everyone's getting kryptonite bullets, and is there a lineup to shoot Superman with
I'm
it?
gonna
Like,
order.
I
I'm
mean,
gonna guys. Did you guys
In
need
which
to replenish your
ICU is
kryptonite
this?
bullet?
It's like, yeah.
Hey, truth.
Like Superman's walking around with that thing with the flap in his back. It's like, what the heck?
Yeah, I'm just gonna place an order for some kryptonite bullets. right
Superman
now.
really needs a
Anyone need
bulletproof
any?
vest at this point.
Yeah,
I mean,
Okay.
I
Hot
get
take,
it.
I
True.
like part one better.
I get it. I understand. I mean, there must be a long line of supervillains who want to take out Superman, because once you take out Superman, no one can tell you you're the best in the world. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's a
you
competition
can't-
thing.
no.
And
This
it's not
taking out
great. It's
Superman-
not smart. It's a smart thing.
This taking out Superman, that's rubbish. It's
It's like,
like that.
Warner Brothers continues to disrespect this character. I don't
know,
understand.
It's like stop
There's
it.
a Shazam 2 and there's no Man of Steel 2.
Steel 2.
Anyway.
Oh my
Good
Exactly.
God, a Shazam 2.
Right,
Shazam.
right.
There's an
Shazam
Ant-Man
2.
3, but there's no Man of
Ant-Man
Steel
3.
2.
My
There's
God.
an Ant-Man 2, and there's
There's
no
the Guardians of the Galaxy 3 coming out.
Guardians 3 is
Good
coming out.
God.
Suicide
like all
Squad
of these-
2 is coming out.
We have
for
second
Man of Steel 2.
Shang-Chi coming out, and we don't have a Superman Steel 2.
Shang-Chi is coming out.
How did
There's no
Shang-Chi
Man
get
of
over
Steel 2.
Superman?
When did Superman get usurped?
Yeah,
by,
but like,
it's like
but that's
everybody?
Marvel. Listen, every
There's 3
A-list,
Harley Quinn movies. There's
every
3.
A-list Marvel character has gotten a movie, so now they can move on to like all this other stuff. But there's no Man of Steel. Like I get, we always bang this drum, but it's shocking. It's shocking.
It is shocking.
It's shocking. It's like there's no Man of Steel 2, but there's a Shazam 2 coming out. And get on that Shazam 2 thing.
As we told Polka Dot Man was my favorite character out of this, because he was the only one that had something that wasn't just I tell jokes. He was the only one who didn't tell jokes. And then Ratcatcher 2 was there for the plot. It's like we need someone. It's like, what can defeat Starro that's stronger than bullets? Rats? Yes, rats can do it. Oh.
Hey, yo, guys, did you hear about how the studio executive works? Basically, when I forgot who pitched Man of Steel, but one executive asked, "Why would you destroy the ship? How is he going to get back to Krypton?"
Yeah, I read about that.
Yeah,
it was in the dailies, and they asked about, because they're like, but how's he get back to Krypton? It's like Krypton blew up. It blew up in this movie. Like, you saw it. Like, you don't even have to know anything about Superman. In this movie, we show it. There's a whole half hour dedicated to that.
We saw it happen.
Oh my god! No, I did not hear about this.
Yeah,
that is absolutely.
They didn't say who it was, but it's an exec.
It's probably the same exec who said, in Superman, Returns, he should go up and try and find Krypton again.
That's probably what happened. They're like, well, why wouldn't he go find it? You wouldn't just take your father's word for it, would you? It's like,
yeah, I would.
Maybe Krypton does still exist. Come on, guys.
Oh my god. Okay, so Superman is out of action. Nobody can save the day except for the rats. Thank God. Thank God.
Rats who can breathe underwater.
Couldn't show up. He couldn't say like, "Hey, Starfish, wrong."
Yeah, where's Aquaman?
Where's
around.
Wonder Woman?
Yeah. Where's Wonder Woman? Yeah, Wonder Woman.
Where's the Flash?
Where's the Flash? These people didn't get shot with a kryptonite bullet. They're around.
They were all in the ICU with Superman.
Flash was busy going through time and
right.
There you
and
go.
Fighting himself, apparently.
Meeting all the various
instead of Reverse Flash
versions of Batman.
I feel like they're gonna make his other version of himself Reverse Flash. I feel like that's gonna be our Reverse Flash.
Yeah, this is like what I've seen that.
What,
that would be
the movie?
That
I haven't been keeping up with the movie because
I hope it's not Savitar, because that's Flash season 3.
No, it's not Reverse Flash either. They're saying that it's like Barry Allen is the villain. Like it's like he's the
in his first movie.
I don't know.
Also, the execs
I don't know.
Didn't get the time travel in Zack Snyder's Justice League.
I don't know. I don't know who the villain is. Maybe
cocaine's
Iris is the villain.
Over there, man.
Maybe I'm the villain.
J-Man.
He's his own villain.
I just don't get it.
J-Man,
my God.
You want to hear something else that will make you mad? These same executives didn't get the time travel in Zack Snyder's Justice League.
I know.
And they took it down.
It's like, I don't understand the time travel. Well, all right. Pineapple Pizza fan, what's going on, man? How's it going? What's your out of 10 score for Suicide Squad Part 2?
I'd say 7 out of 10.
7?
Maybe.
Do you think it's better or worse than Part 1?
Oh, I think it's way better.
Oh, way better than Part 1.
Yeah.
All right. So what are you now? I'm assuming you've been listening to us rant on this.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts? Like, what are the more positive points versus the first one?
Well, it doesn't have Leto's Joker in it, so that's one. Sorry.
Yeah.
True enough.
I mean, I think that Gunn should have made like the first one. Honestly, I think he did better than David Ayer. But I mean, even though I like kind of Ayer's movies, but his movies are kind of sometimes they're good, sometimes they're not.
Right.
It's kind of a drawback. Like, what you're gonna get. I do agree with some of the plot points that the plot holes that you guys are talking about. Yeah. I do agree that I don't understand why they killed a major one of major villains in Flash's gallery. Like, I don't understand that. I hope he's not dead. Like you said, J-Man, because that would be a real that's just like in Birds of Prey how they killed Black Mask, and I was kind of upset with that because he's a Batman villain, and it's like, why kill? I don't know. I feel like they're doing this. Go ahead.
No, like kill Black Mask before he even became Black Mask. He wore the mask at the very end, and then they kill him. And I'm like, okay,
exactly.
Yeah. I'm not trying to insult any of the filmmakers, but honestly, I do feel that there's a level of disrespect for the character. I think James Gunn did some disrespecting of the DC characters because it's like they're not just dying. Like El Diablo, and he was a great character, really. But he died in this big thing where he's like, okay, I'm going to sacrifice myself, I'm going to die. And he had nothing to live for. Like in his story, you know, killing his daughter or his kids or whatever, and the wife, he just had like a bad experience. So he's like, look, I'm done. And he'll go out with a bang and save the day. That's cool. But like Captain Boomerang just dies. Like they all land on the beach and they all just get killed immediately. And you're like, well, that means you just literally didn't care about any of these characters. And why even bring back Jai Courtney? Just have him die that way. Just don't even have him in it. And you could always say, well, Captain Boomerang could come back later if you need him. And then why is Rick Flag on the B squad? Like maybe Harley Quinn, Amanda Waller thought, we can't control her. Let's throw her on the B squad. If she gets killed, who cares? But why is Rick Flag on the B squad? Like, what did he do to piss her off? And where's his woman? Didn't she get saved in the end of part 1, right? So where's that girl?
Yeah.
Well,
I wonder where Enchantress is.
Yeah, broke out because he realized he liked Enchantress more. He's like,
I like Enchantress more, to be honest.
I mean,
no, it's just a guess. Because the doctor she was very boring.
Oh, she was awful. June Moon?
Yeah, June Moon.
She was Joan.
She was a wet sock. It's like
she wanted to be Indiana Jones, going into the jungles, and then all of a sudden, you get possessed by an ancient witch. That's what happens.
I don't know.
I can understand why Fern broke up afterwards.
June Moon, though, is an interesting character in the comics. It didn't translate to the theater. I mean, to the movie, but like in the comics, she's like one of those characters who's like, I don't know when, if I do the wrong thing, I'm going to become this horrible person who I don't want to be. And she's like, killing all these people, and it's my body. Right. So she's a good character in the comics. She's just not a very good character in that movie.
So let's talk about characters then, Steve, since you're on that topic.
Yes.
Name a couple of characters that you thought were really let's do the good ones first. We'll go through the whole panel. So name like a couple of characters that you thought were really good in this part 2 movie.
Harley Quinn and Polka Dot Man.
Yep. That's my 2. Sean, who do you think was good in this one?
Couple of people. Too. I'm trying to think of who else.
Okay, we'll come back.
Like the visual looks were hit and miss. I mean, like they're trying hard to go with the comic look, so I admire that.
Peacemaker looks exactly comic. Like that's
and Javelin is Javelin.
Javelin looks cool too, but he didn't do anything. All right, so Gray, who are your kind of 2 favorites then?
I like Bloodsport because because they had to convince him to get on the team. Like, hey, it's like, are we gonna die? And then like the man's like, I think so. You're like, oh, for fuck's sake. Is a given, but I had to go with. I thought Peacemaker was really interesting. Just like he's he's totally Captain America now. Like he has no problem killing a black kid in any state.
Who Captain America has no problem doing that?
No, Peacemaker has no problem killing a black kid.
I don't think he has a problem killing anybody. He'll kill anybody. That's his thing.
I have a question. Before we continue, I do have a quick question. Yeah. You brought up something interesting, Gray. He had a bomb in his neck, so why did they have to convince him with the daughter as well?
You know what? It was just to get the plot going. It just seemed like it was something in the writers' thing, like, hey, let's have the bomb in his head. Oh, wait, because they had to inject it in him before. Did they inject it in him?
Yeah, but just knock him out. I didn't realize that joining Suicide Squad was voluntary. I thought it was like, I'm gonna pass. No,
Just
you're
imagine
not gonna
getting
pass.
a knock on the door only to see Amanda Waller.
Yeah.
You want to join the Suicide Squad?
Sure. We want you in the Suicide Squad.
I got nothing to give.
All right, so justice for Captain. Who are your two favorites?
I gotta go with. Damn. If I could pick three.
Pick three then. Pick three.
All right. It would be Bloodsport, Peacemaker, and Rick Flags. But since J-Man said only two, I gotta go with Peacemaker and Bloodsport.
I'd say Peacemaker and Bloodsport would be
Also,
in there for
let's
me
not
as
forget
well.
about the Thinker. The Thinker was great. He's like,
Thinker didn't do anything.
He didn't do anything.
no.
He was only there for
He
talking
didn't do
and
anything.
for
He didn't do
acting like
anything.
an asshole.
I want to. Okay, guys, I like Peter Capaldi. He was on this show called The Thick of It, where it was just
Yeah.
like
I have the whole
he's
thing.
the meanest
I
person.
have
Yeah.
it all. I have it all on DVD. and I've watched it
So
a few
great.
times.
We got our picture taken with Peter Capaldi when he was
Yeah.
filming this because he was bald.
Bald, yeah.
So
Yeah.
he was filming this, but the problem was that he could have been. You could have called him scientist number 43. Why was he the thinker?
Yeah, he
Because
wasn't a
they did
thinker.
all these things. They're like they have all these things coming out of his head.
What do they do?
What?
Right.
Yeah, like
They're
he
there.
was-
Okay, so pineapple pizza. What were your two favorites?
Yeah, mine's Peacemaker, of course, and I think my all-time favorite is Weasel.
He
No,
survived.
no,
Yeah.
no, please
Weasel.
no.
Yeah.
Oh, that's- oh.
Which
Sean
one?
left
Who?
the building.
Sean,
like
Sean,
Sean.
Sean can't take this anymore. He's,
I did not
was
exit
this?
him. He went out on his own.
man,
Also, I'm kind of glad.
There you go. Okay, so yeah, continue pineapple.
Also, I'm kind of glad that they that Gunn was like had Peacemaker's helmet, but he was like, yeah, but he's not gonna like shoot the laser out of like the helmet like in the comics. I think he
Wait,
was
what?
like, well, okay, that's too silly. Yeah, Peacemaker shoots laser out of his helmet.
I
In
love
the
how something
comics.
is too silly for this movie. It's like this movie is like filled with
Especially
like,
the
a lot
tiny
of-
whitey.
And what's with the penis? Like seriously, I didn't
Yeah.
need to see that.
yeah, that's a
I'm
good
like,
question.
I don't
I was
need
kinda
Oh
that.
like,
yeah, you
wow.
I'm like,
Was that
really?
like flouting the R rating or what? Like I was like, why is that there?
That got them the R rating.
Yeah.
Nothing else. That
Yeah.
got them the R rating.
Like, wow.
Just
That
show
and
the
the
scene
nudity.
to the rater.
Guys, that
Yes.
was very important. That was a very
Yes,
important
I
We
do.
needed
political
a
statement.
close-up shot on that, just
No,
just
we
for
don't.
the movie. For
We
some
don't.
reason.
get it for us so we can see
Well,
it. Like, so
well, they
clearly.
did it. They
Can we just talk about how like they just killed an entire town and it's like, oops,
Right.
like yeah, they're here.
Yeah, they killed
no.
all the rebels, and I'm thinking, and they're like, "Well, wasn't that funny? We made a mistake, ha ha ha." I'm like, well, you just killed it.
No.
You know, even though King Shark is nothing like the actual version, I actually really like him in this
I
one.
don't like.
I don't know
You're
why I liked him, but I just liked him.
All right, let's play a game. I'm gonna think of a character. You tell me who it is. Okay, so I'm gonna give you some clues. This character always has a wisecracking comeback to anything that's said to him or her. Who am I
Edge.
thinking about in Suicide Squad 2?
Everyone in Suicide Squad.
Everyone,
Majority of the cast.
everyone but
everybody.
Weasel,
Right. So I mean, this is not great, right? Like this, you know, it's like that's the point. It's like who am I thinking? Even if you like any other movie, there's different characters. You're like, everyone's the same. Everyone has the same trope, which is they have a quick comeback to something, and it's like really, except for Polka Dot Man, I guess. James Gunn. Let's see what Truth's saying. James Gunn did succeed. In
Also, the
putting
actor has been.
Yes.
Been in a lot of
He didn't
James
make that
Gunn
much in
movies.
this opening weekend, so
Like
probably not gonna get a part for me.
the
This
actor,
was not this. Go ahead,
Oh.
Greymalkin. Sorry.
the actor who played Great Polka Dot Man has been in a lot of James Gunn movies, and here's the thing: he always dies. He always dies. Like
No, he
always-
did. He survived. He survived Ant-Man too, didn't he?
no.
Yeah, he
Well,
did
he was
survive
not.
Ant-Man too.
No, but like every James Gunn movie he's done, because
Oh, sorry, yeah, he
Ant-Man
died.
wasn't James Gunn.
Yeah. Okay, I get what you're saying. Yeah, he's in
So-
lots of. He's in, go ahead, Pineapple.
So, what did you got? What are your thoughts on the Calendar Man cameo? if you can call it a cameo.
They just grabbed the guy off the street and added in the calendar.
I mean,
I could have done that. I could have done that much better.
The fact that they did the months, and I was looking at the months, the fact that they did that was awesome. But the fact that they just made him another joke was
Josh, please
insulting.
leave.
Who's the sus? Do you know the Suscast?
I
yes,
think
he's on Truth's stream. He's always doing stuff like this.
I mean, I'm guessing he's seen one movie this year, so it's got to be the best one.
I think the Suicide Squad is the best movie. No, I was going to say the best movie I saw this weekend, but I watched Godzilla vs. Biollante this weekend. So
I saw Snake Eyes again.
Nice.
and I watched.
Yeah, the Calendar Man thing. If you know the long Halloween,
please ban Sus.
No, I won't ban people. I had a troll last week, and I was so excited, and then he didn't come back anymore. So I'm upset now. I had a good troll, but he didn't come back, and I didn't ban him or anything. Sorry, Steve. What were you saying?
Yeah, if you know the long Halloween, that Calendar Man thing was like revolting because he was like
Calendar Man's not a jokester.
Yeah, he's not a jokester at all. Like he's a serious psychopath. So
no, everybody's a joke, and this is the thing. Like this is a James Gunn type of movie, so you know what you're gonna get, but it doesn't fit Suicide Squad.
No,
I say Brightburn is better than this.
I didn't see Brightburn, only because I'm tired of the Superman is evil trope in whatever format that takes. For some reason, I do like Homelander, but I don't know why. I like Homelander because he's so gleeful in his like evilness. Brightburn almost feels like it's kind of nasty, so it's like, but I will watch it.
It's dumb. There's no explanation for it. So yeah,
I think it's just there just to be evil,
just
Superman.
To be there. Yeah. And at the end, they allude to like all the other DC characters being villains as well.
Yeah,
this is like James Gunn hit at his own like small superhero universe that he built up with Super,
right?
Or is it Super?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Super.
Yeah, no, actually, I would go back further. Slither.
I don't mind Super. I like Slither.
I like Slither.
No. I mean, Slither is a part of that. Like,
Slither's great.
Yeah, Slither's great.
Can I bring up something about David Ayer?
Yeah,
sure. Is that because of his experience as a kid, like growing up on the streets of LA, apparently seeing someone die in front of him and having to grow up in that environment, he had a lot of love and respect for for the Suicide Squad, and he wanted to bring them justice. He wanted to like give them a good shot, but then the studio came in. But it feels like James Gunn's just doing this just because he wants to make a Guardians of the Galaxy rated R movie.
Yeah.
I think he wants to make a fun. Oh, it's all crazy. They're all evil. Look how evil they are, and they kill people. It's like, well, but you're not. Again, this is. I don't want to use the Hunger Games as an example because I don't like that movie. But Hunger Games. This is the reason I don't like Hunger Games. The reason I don't like Hunger Games is that it's not battle royale. It's like if you want to have killing, then have it and make it dark and make it sick. This movie wasn't dark and disturbing enough, right? To make it hard R and all this. It's like it's just hard R for silliness. It's like so if you don't want to do that, that's fine. But like the Suicide Squad, the first one, the tone was still better. They were nastier. They're more like I wouldn't. In this one, you're almost like, Suicide Squad, they're so fun. It's like, well, why? Why are they fun? Like they shouldn't be fun. They're
so J-Man, you watch like trauma movies and stuff. Is this sort of like a big budget trauma movie?
No. I don't think. What do you think, Sean? I don't think so.
Like Toxic Avenger 4 is
first
like
of all,
the
Lloyd
most,
Kaufman
like...
was in it. Did you see Lloyd Kaufman, Sean?
Yeah.
Oh no, I didn't. Where was he?
Oh, Lloyd Kaufman is in it for 1 second when they're going into the bar and they brush by him.
Oh yeah, shit, man.
Shit, and I saw.
I need to look at that again.
Yeah. Put in a comment that I really agree with.
The actress who plays Mantis was in it too. Palm Clement.
Oh, Mantis, Oh, dear Mantis.
Oh, Amanda Waller was trashing this movie, to be honest. Like,
I thought
she was still a loser.
After we see her putting the ice to her head and looking at her team, I thought we were going to get another shot of her just walking out, and then we see dead bodies on the ground.
Yeah.
Only to then see at the end credits, we see that they are alive.
2 of them are alive. Yeah,
Two of them are, yeah.
Okay. 2 of the worst ones.
You put those 2 in charge of Peacemaker. I'm like, right,
Well, like,
because when I beat up my boss, I get special assignments too.
Yeah, like Amanda Waller literally killed all those innocent people, and what's her? Even I think I don't know if it was Deadshot or Flag. Were like, yo, that's pretty cruel. She's like, look, they weren't clear. They weren't cleared.
Yeah.
It was Will Smith, and she's like, they weren't cleared for this info. That's it. It's like, but someone hit you on the head. So sorry. So Sean, trauma. No, I don't think so, because it's not. It doesn't cross that trauma line, does it?
No, not really. I mean, like, Trauma always did something really, really egregious. But here they make the point several times to point out kids, like, oh, the kids, like even Harley Quinn is like, oh, you mentioned kids, that's a red flag.
I love how like one of the characters at the
and I don't know if that's a joke or not, but like an inside joke.
Kids.
But no, they don't kill like an old lady, or they don't like run over like a child or something.
Yeah.
There's that one point, like he tries that dick, I think, is supposed to be the line they cross. Right. But it's a dick. It's like it's not something like they pull out like a 4-year-old spine or something like that. That
now will we see the cut version?
Probably not.
Yeah.
I can't tell if that was the uncut version or the cut version. No, but yeah, that was supposed to be the thing. Like, oh, they showed a dick. But trauma movies are like hardcore crazy shit.
They're trying to go out their way to be crazy and offensive.
Like, yeah, Toxic Avenger, first 10 minutes, they run over the baby, and they run over it a second time, I think.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, okay. And literally Toxic Avenger 4, literally like they're in the school for the gifted, which they don't call it that, or not gifted, for the mentally challenged, and they don't call it that.
Yeah.
And there's like a guy helping himself out in class, and you're like, what is going on in this weird movie? And they call the Diaper Mafia, and it's literally the Diaper Mafia shows up to a special needs school and is killing the special needs kids. And you're like, yep, that's a trauma movie. It's like, that's a James Gunn old school kind of movie, not what we got today or whatever this week.
James
Gunn. See you guys.
Okay, dude.
Take
Thanks
care.
for coming by, man.
All right.
See ya.
It didn't go the way as Romeo and Juliet, which was
No,
a James Gunn trauma film, so it's not there yet.
I don't think it's gonna go to that. It's not gonna go to those lengths or whatever. But I don't.
That was his Tromiest.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think regular the normies, whatever, they don't know any of this stuff anyways. So this all came about when James Gunn
I feel like that's what he's trying to do here, right? Like he's trying to be edgy and edgelord and bullshit like that, right? But
it's not the trauma style.
Yeah.
Like, it ain't nowhere near any of that kind of shit, right? Where the Diaper Mafia, that's super offensive right after the trench coat mafia.
Yeah, that was
and people were pissed off over the NRA and what's his face, Charlton Heston. It's like, oh yeah, look at what Trauma's doing. They're like literally making fun of this and like shooting the special needs kids and like holding them hostage.
What about
that?
Apparently you can't kill kids anymore in movies. That's weird. Like, why can't you kill? Like, you can show men. You can show men dying. If you show a woman dying, it has to be something really. It has to be something really bad. But you can't kill kids. What if a kid was coming at you? What if one of the Starro things had a kid and he was just coming at Harley Quinn like, I can't kill kids, and then she just hits her with the or stabs her with the javelin, like, oh
yeah. Like, I don't think the Suicide Squad, even in the first one, I don't think the Suicide Squad would go out of their way to do something like, if Amanda Waller's like, the mission's over, okay, see ya.
Yeah,
like,
I'm done with this.
I'm done with it. Like, I don't think they would go and want to fight, and especially since Amanda Waller's got her hand on the button, and they don't know that there's a character who's going to save them by knocking her out. They don't know that. Why would they continue on?
Right,
with
but this is what I said before. This is what I said last time. It's like the last movie and this movie as well, it is what you're going to get with a Hollywood version of Suicide Squad. Right. You have to have a big finale where they fight a villain and people walk out going, well, they're heroes in the end. Like it's not Suicide Squad as you know it from the comics, but 98 or 99% of the people watching this don't read the comics, right? They just want to watch a fun movie where these villains team up and they do a good thing at the end, you know, and that's and there's wisecracking and all this nonsense. It's the Hollywood Suicide Squad.
Yeah, it is. And
yeah, I mean, if you watch Hell to Pay, that's a pretty good Suicide Squad movie. Would you say, Steve, or no?
Yeah. I'd say it is. Like the Suicide Squad is not like there's no camaraderie, right? There's no like repartee. It's like, if anything, it's like Deadshot would be there with Waller, and they're like, okay, you're taking this person, this person, this person, this person. He's like, oh, I don't want to. And they're like, we got the bomb in your head, Floyd. You got to go. He's like, fine. And then he would go, Harley Quinn is literally the only humor in the comic at all. Now, she's nonstop, but that's cool because that's Harley Quinn. You're like,
she's the only one.
Yeah, she's the only one. Literally, she's the only one. Everyone else is either like commenting on her insanity or too busy doing their things. Like Deadshot is shooting people. He doesn't have time to like throw jokes over his shoulder. He wouldn't anyway because he's Deadshot. Like Deadshot's not a funny guy.
Steve, what did you think of Assault on Arkham? Did you watch it?
I liked it. I liked both Hell to Pay and Assault.
Yeah. Assault, I watched it and I can't remember much from it, so I probably don't like it. I like Hell to Pay a lot more.
Hell to Pay is better than Assault because Assault is still like King Shark decides he wants to be a hero because he's in love with someone. I'm like,
yeah.
Don't make the Suicide Squad is villains. The Suicide Squad movie needs a Bible, like Freddy versus Jason had one. You need a Bible and you need to stick to it. And the Bible has to be A, no joking unless it's Harley Quinn. B, these are not heroes. It's more, the Suicide Squad one is more accurate where they're trying to get out of this. They're trying everything they can to not do the mission. Then they're doing the mission. Fine, we'll do the mission. But now they're just surviving, right? There's no, I'm going to save other people in the team. Deadshot doesn't care if everyone dies. As long as he lives, he doesn't care, right? The only time he gets worried is if Amanda Waller says to him, if you let anyone die, I'm going to detonate the bomb in your neck. Then he starts trying to save people. But he doesn't give a crap if King Shark lives or like when Yo-Yo got eaten by King Shark, no one cared.
Right.
They're like, oh, whatever. They're just like, I don't want to be eaten. Like no one cares. So
go ahead.
Like the thing with the Suicide Squad, it will never be a great adaptation on the big screen because Hollywood wants happy endings. They want like I don't get it. They want their characters to be redeemable. They want to, like, oh, they have a heart of gold. Like, no. Like, we should be reminded every 10 minutes that these are bad people.
Yes, I agree with that.
It's my issue with the Maleficent movie. Like, wait,
I agree with that. I agree with that.
I didn't see it.
You're lucky.
It's awful.
It's awful, yeah.
The first one?
Yeah.
I
didn't.
Yeah, I don't like this. I gotta say, I don't like the Jared Leto Joker, but that person in that movie was threatening and scary, and could, like, when he was like, "Oh, you like her? Eh? Well, you can have her."
Yeah, he doesn't know what to do, right?
Yeah. In that moment, you're just like, "Oh my God, should I go with her? Am I going to offend Joker if I don't say she's hot, or am I going to offend him if I do say it?" Like right away, I'm sitting there thinking, I would never want to deal with the Joker. I would never want to be in that room with that person ever. Now, he's scary for the wrong reasons. It's not the Joker. The Jared Leto Joker is not the Joker, but it's a scary person who is a villain, and we don't have anything that.
He's more like the Jared Leto Joker. He's more like Black Mask.
Yes.
Like, he gives me more of a Black Mask. Also, okay, I did not find the Joker scary. When he was coming at that one dude, I'm like, really? Like, bro, get off me.
When he's Common? When he's
when he killed Common, like he killed him for no reason. He's like, no, man, that's your girl. It's like
the thing is, he
business.
Yeah, he's unpredictable. I think that's what's so like scary about him. And I got that from rewatching it today. I was like, yeah, I kind of see, I guess, the appeal of this Joker. But I think he needed more work.
Yeah, he needed more
work. He
work.
never got that.
It's too overt. It's too overt with him, where it's like you walk into a room and you see the guy with the tats and he's got the grill, and you're like, oh, this guy's a gangster. He's scary-ish. You shouldn't, like, Joker's something where it's a clown. Clowns aren't scary until you start talking to them and you realize they're freaking nuts.
Right.
Like, like, that's the thing.
No double C. It made $20 million in its opening weekend, so no Suicide Squad 3. They can bring back whoever. It doesn't matter.
But see, instead of using Common in that scene, they should have had another villain, because like we always see this in the comic books, a lot of the villains hate Joker. They like, oh my god, why do you have to deal with the clown? No, I need to, like, because he's gonna kill 3 of my guys for no reason.
No one teams up with the Joker because everyone knows the guy could just literally turn and shoot you because you sneezed.
And it's and he's annoying. He's very annoying. He's like He's like the Deadpool of Batman villains.
Yes, I agree with you. He is annoying.
It's like, like everybody. Like, I don't think anybody's the big villains. I don't think they're scared of him. It's just like, I'd rather just not deal with him. Like, just keep him away.
Well,
like,
I mean, the Batman villains are all believe that they're the best. Like, Bane's not afraid of anyone. Scarecrow is all about fear. Penguin is like, I control everyone. Riddler thinks he's smarter than everyone. Like, there's no one on the villain side to be afraid of Joker except the B level. Like, maybe like Ventriloquist is afraid of Joker.
The henchman and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Scarface. I don't know.
You know what? So, I think, I don't know who said this, but somebody's in the panel or chat said, maybe Black Mask should have been the villain in the first Suicide Squad, and then in the second one it would have been Joker, and then that would have been a better and Birds of Prey. I'm sorry, Birds of Prey should have been Joker. Yes. And then this movie they could have picked something else. And the thing is, it's like, this seems very obvious. Even within the movie they're presenting, because if you're saying, you're right. When you said Jared Leto Joker feels a bit more Black Mask, like he goes a little bit more towards Black Mask than he goes towards Joker. It's like, hey, that would have been a way better choice to have a villain. It's just like, he's controlling everything. He's this big crime boss. And it's like, we have to infiltrate. Maybe he stole something from Waller. He's got some information. I don't know, and they can't get to him. He's got a fortress, or he's set up traps.
Bellreeve,
yeah,
a lot more sense, because I
don't know, it could have been anything.
Yeah, it's like, what did Joker's guy say in the movie? He said like, there's this new law that if you have superpowers and you come out, you commit crimes, they're taking you to Bellreeve. Like, how would you know that? How would you know that?
Yeah, like I don't know. I just. The thing is, the plot of the first movie is so wonky ass that it makes you ignore some of the positives of it. So I don't know how many times you've seen it, Steve. Sean, you just rewatched it. Ray, Pineapple, I don't know how many times you've seen it. I rewatched part 1.
Only once.
Part 2 right after.
Only once.
So
I've seen it many times. I'm shocked at myself because it's not good.
No. But
Sean, you love bad movies, man.
I know.
But I don't think. I'm a little bit getting into it. I don't want to say I'm a 180 on Suicide Squad 1, but I'm very looking upon it more favorably now, because I understand what Ayer is trying to do, but the Enchantress and everything to do with her is just awful.
That whole movie felt to me like it was not just forced, but like desperate. It's like a lot of it is a reach. It's like we gotta set up the villains, so they spend so much time with like the subway and all that bullshit, and like you're like looking at that one dude and like smacking his head against the mirror, and it's like, now you're my brother. It's like, what's happening? Like, what is this? And then they go on this mission, and they think the writers think they're being clever, and David Ayer probably thought he was being clever. It's like, the audience doesn't really know what's going on. And it turns out to be Amanda Waller's or Pamela Waller or whatever her name is. She's looking at the it's Amanda Waller, right?
It's Amanda.
Waller.
Yeah, Amanda
I'm
Waller.
getting mixed up with Pamela Wallen, who's a news anchor here in Toronto. But anyway, Amanda Waller is looking at the monitor and it's like, oh, the big twist is really her rescue. Yeah. but it's like, but it's all sort of they think they're being clever, and it's all just like a reach and just desperation. Like, look how street we are. This is the reinvention of these characters. Oh, tattoos! You never see that in a Joker. It's like it's just a desperate reach. It just seemed like desperation to me.
The problem really is with Suicide Squad 1.
I'm sorry, but Jared Leto's
Go ahead, Pineapple. What were you saying?
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I'm kind of glad that Leto's Joker was like redone in a little bit in the Snyder cut, because like in the Suicide Squad, he was Suicide Squad, not the Suicide Squad. He was really cringy and very, very off-putting.
Yeah, I don't like him as Joker. But sorry. Okay, so Steve, sorry. What were you saying?
The movie sets up its own logic, and movies like this set up their own logic, right? That's how you can sort of accept that a giant starfish is destroying a city, right? It sets up its own logic. But when it sets up its own logic, if it goes against its own logic, then it loses credibility with the viewer. So, case in point, they go through this rigmarole to explain that this briefcase, the only thing that controls the Enchantress. It's the only thing that can basically put her to heal. And if you don't have this briefcase, she can do whatever you want, and she's a powerful magic user. Cool. So the next time you see the June Moon, she's in a hotel with Rick Flag without the briefcase. And she turns into the Enchantress. And he can't stop her because he doesn't have the briefcase. If you've already established that this is a dangerous character, this is literally like, I'm going to go back to a strange thing, Con Air, right? Like, frigging Steve Buscemi comes out, he's got the mask on and that. It's like, we can't let this guy out. Like, this guy is the worst of the worst, the Marietta Mangler and all that.
Yeah.
Right? If you see the next scene, they're all playing poker with this guy. You're like, well, didn't you just establish this guy was the worst of the worst? Why are you now playing poker with him? It's the same thing. Like, you can't go there and say, this is the scariest person ever. And you need this briefcase, and literally, there's no one else in the Suicide Squad who needs a briefcase to stop them. And then the next thing you know, it's like, I don't have the briefcase. Well, didn't you think she could turn into the Enchantress? All she has to do is, like,
say the word Enchantress.
Enchantress.
No, Enchantress and everything about that entire thing was not good in the first movie, and Joker was not the proper Joker, but at least he was a threatening individual character. That's my Jared Leto, but he wasn't the Joker. He's not the proper Joker. He's somewhat redeemed in the brief little thing, but I don't feel that he's the Joker really in that scene either, because at that point Joker's non-essential because it's the entire world's dead. So like, what's the point at that point?
Yeah, it's more like a fever dream than anything.
Sean's hating. There's a lot. There's about Sean, Steve, and I were all kind of, well, I don't know what hating. I don't know about hating. Sorry, you're saying Sean's hating. We all I beat this movie up. I beat this up pretty good. When it was over, I was kind of like, man, what the hell? Like, it didn't start off great actually, but the middle section was like, okay, I like this mission better. This kind of makes sense. It's a Suicide Squad mission. I could see everything clearly. Like, the characters look cool. They all have their costumes and stuff. Polka Dot Man's interesting, but then I'm like, oh, they're all kind of the same. It's like, I don't like. It's like, oh, he'll say a one-liner joke, and then he'll say a joke, and then, oh, we killed all these people by accident, haha. And it's like, okay. And then Harley Quinn's doing jokes, which is her thing. And then it's like, Harley Quinn's gonna get married. I'm like, what is happening? Is she marrying this fellow? Like, is this the mission? Like, what's going on? And then it's like, oh, we all love each other, and we're all gonna go save the day, even though Amanda Waller told us not to, and she's gonna kill us. But that's okay because there's a random person in the back who's gonna knock out Waller. I'm like, okay, and only the rats can save the day. It's like, okay, rats can kill Star. Like, literally, you walk out of that, you're like, the rats can kill Starro. Forget about the Green Lantern Corps. Forget about Superman. Forget about anything else. It's like forget about bullets. They're shooting Starro. You can't hurt them, but rat bites can. Maybe there's a lot of rat bites.
But those were a lot of rats, though. Like
more better than what's his name? That sport. No, I was gonna call him Sportsmaster. What's his name? Bloodsport. Bloodsport. Bloodsport literally had this gun that was like this fucking Power Rangers gun. It's like
yeah.
And it's not killing Starro. And it's like, oh, wait, we'll call the rats. I'll be like, well, how are the rats going to stop him when he had this badass gun? I have to say, I'll say this for Bloodsport, the visual representation of him assembling stuff from his suit was awesome.
Okay. Like, also, they kind of explained his powers, though, didn't they? They kind of said, like, oh, every culture has something called the death touch. Like,
he's a death touch guy, yeah. The Dim Mak, they said the Dim Mak. Oh, my God. Okay, hold on. This is a private joke between me and one of the salesmen at my office. And the Dim Mak is from Bloodsport. Where he goes, show me the Dim Mak. And then Van Damme, Frank Dukes is like, Jackson is like, the Dim Mak? He's like, your death touch. And then he's like, choose a brick. And then he goes, no, bottom one. And then he's like, and then Van Damme does it and breaks the brick. And I'm like, oh my God, they said Dim Mak. I'm so happy they said that.
And then Bull was like, but bricks don't hit back.
No, yeah, that's right.
So
no, yeah. Sorry, what were you gonna say, Pineapple?
Oh, sorry. So it's weird that like none of you were like talked about Mongal or anything. Like she's supposed to be like in the comp. Yeah, she was kind of useless too. I was kind of.
Yeah, we covered that very, very early on. You may not have popped in.
Oh, you did?
Oh. Said where it's like,
no.
Like, how is she even? Okay, so Mongo is like impervious to anything, right? Like, I don't know how to.
Exactly.
It's kind of like with X-Men First Class. Like, the person who shouldn't die is dying, which is
like, I think it's
Darwin,
disrespect. Yeah, I think it's a bit of it. It's not disrespect by James Gunn, but it's a lack of caring. It's like, yeah, give me some villains. It's like, well, they're all gonna die, so who cares? It's like, I know, but did you actually? Because Slipknot was the only one that died, I think, in the first movie, correct? Well, El Diablo died in an epic way to say,
yeah.
Everyone else survived, and the Suicide Squad, there should be some members that die, but this shouldn't be the Mystery Men. The Mystery Men in comics died it's like every time there'd be a new, like I think the Shoveler was the only character that ever continued on in Mystery Men. If you read Mystery Men comics, it's like they all just die off, right?
Yeah,
it's like, right, Sean? Like this.
Yeah, I remember reading the comics when the movie came out. Because I was like, let me pick up a few, and none of them were in the movie because the
Shoveler is the only character. The Shoveler is the only character that is anything, right? It's like he seems to survive from time to time, but everybody else just dies. So they turned the Suicide Squad into the Mystery Men, where they're all just losers. See, the Suicide Squad are good villains, but they die because the mission is tough. They don't die because they suck. I think that's right. Like,
no, sometimes they suck. Sometimes they do suck.
No. Sometimes they suck, but like they landed on that beach and just all got shot, and you're like, okay, what was the point of that?
Yeah, I think what he was trying to convey was not his, but Amanda Waller's cynicism. Like she was willing to expend them all. Now, why Rick Flag was there, I can't tell you. Harley Quinn makes sense.
Make it look legit.
I guess so, but then
but like I don't know, because like Rick Flag comes out there and like. Like he's the guy, he's the legit guy. That's the one guy who will keep everyone in line. He's the field commander. That's why they made him the commander. He was actually a legitimate military guy. Now they have Bloodsport there and they have Peacemaker there, so I guess he's superfluous. But then why have Rick Flag there?
So here's the big plot hole. The javelin is not made of anything special. It's just a javelin. So bullets cannot penetrate Starro's eye, but that javelin can. Merely propelled by Harley Quinn's tiny body, jumping with the thing and poking it in the eye.
Margot Robbie put the full power of being an executive producer.
It's called plot armor.
Right?
It is plot armor. Get the plot armor, woman. It's like dun, 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 dun.
Who do we send on this mission?
How many rooftops does she outrun as they crumble? It's like
Right.
there's a lot
Right.
in this movie. It's like dun 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 dun, and it can't all crumble at the same time. It's gotta crumble in a pattern just to chase her, you know.
I mean, come on. This is a movie thing in all movies.
And
No, the javelin is a point because guns can't
Yeah.
hurt you, but the javelin can. So that is a legit plot hole. Greymalkin, you got to go, right?
Yeah, I gotta go. But I just wanted to say, yeah, it was a, you know what? No alcohol required, but you're not really gonna remember it within like 2 weeks,
Right.
if that.
Mm.
All right.
All right.
Peace, guys.
Thanks for having.
peace out.
All right, take care, man. Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, like we beat this movie up pretty good, but a lot of people are liking it. So I think I'm gonna have a fight on my hands tomorrow at my day job.
Yeah, I don't hate it, but it's just to me 1 and 2 are kind of the same.
Yeah.
They're lumpy for different reasons.
They're different, right? Different, and then you have to choose what reasons. If you think the negative reasons are worse in part 1 than the negative reasons, like if you really, really love Joker, and then you're seeing a Joker that you really hate, that might tank the whole movie, right?
Yeah.
That happens to me. Like if I see a character and I'm really into something, and then that character sucks or whatever, that can tank a whole. I'm trying to think of an example. I'm sure I'll come up with one before this stream ends, but. That happens with me too. Like if I see a character that I love and then they suck, I'm like, okay, I'm checked out of this movie now. I'm done. So that could happen. And there's a lot of Joker fans out there. There might be Enchantress fans out there who thought that she was kind of ruined as well. But again, if you really like Harley Quinn, like for me, Birds of Prey, soon as Orphan became like that, like she was a trash character, I'm like, I'm checked out of this movie. Like I love Margot Robbie in all 3 movies. She carries Birds of Prey. If Birds of Prey was just about Harley Quinn and you renamed all the other characters and didn't have Black Mask, you renamed him. Same exact movie, but he never wears the black mask. They never call him Black Mask. His name is changed. They call him some other name. They don't use Zaz. They don't use Orphan. They don't use like Cassandra. They don't use Huntress. They don't use any of the names. Not Black Canary. And it's the same exact movie. I would really rate that a lot differently because then I'd be like, it's a fun, silly movie with Harley Quinn being funny. But as soon as you say, "Oh, that's Huntress," it's like that ain't Huntress. Black Canary, that ain't Black Canary. That ain't Orphan. That ain't Black Mask. There's too many characters ruined in that movie. There's too many. And Orphan is a ninja. My God, they want strong female characters.
Was the worst. Orphan was the worst because she's such a great character. She can go toe to toe with Batman.
Like she fights. She oh my God, she's a ninja. You took a strong female, foreign. Woman, and you made her this lumpy kid. It's like, what happened? I thought you wanted.
And she's supposed to be mute.
She's supposed to be mute as well.
Well, what about even what they did to Renee Montoya? Renee Montoya becomes the commissioner of Gotham when Jim Gordon retires, and she is awesome. And she's
why she's such a whiner.
She's an idiot in this one. She's wearing a stupid T-shirt for half of it, where it's like something about the hair on her balls or something. I'm like, what the hell? It's idiotic.
It's so dumb.
Yeah.
It's like, how is she going to be the next question? I don't understand if she's acting like this.
Exactly.
Why is she such a dumb? And she's such a whiner. Like, it was my case. Like, oh my God, why are you doing this to her? We need strong women, but you're not making them strong. You're making them shit.
Yeah, making stupid. You can be just as stupid as a man.
Yeah, like they keep saying strong women. Having a woman as the lead doesn't make her a strong woman. You have to make a character. You have to write a character that people get behind. Like, and that didn't happen in Birds of Prey, which is about all strong women, yet none of them do anything. And they're literally, and like, why is Harley Quinn looked up to? It's like, oh, we want to be just like you. What, you want to be a nutcase and be dumped in an acid?
Like abused by
abusive relationship.
That's right. Be in an abusive relationship, dumped in acid, electroshocked. He's like, I'm gonna hurt you real bad. It's like, okay. It's like, that's what you're looking up to? What a dumbass thing. Harley Quinn should just be crazy and just do her own little thing, or have her team up with the Sirens, or you could do like
Sirens is what they should have done 100%.
Instead of Birds of Prey,
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Any other like, I mean, what about Peacemaker TV series? I mean, I'm gonna watch that. He's kind of funny. Hey, what's going on, Marcus?
Yeah, I like John Cena. I did not like the characterization, just because it was very uneven. Like he was, I'm for peace, and then he's like, dick jokes, and then he's like, I'm for peace, and then he's like, dick jokes. I'm like, okay. So this is like a frat boy who happens to want peace. Okay.
I guess,
Like,
yeah.
there's no character in these. You know, the only character in these movies who I would continue watching is Harley Quinn. Everyone else, I have no interest in. Like, I don't care. Like, Bloodsport, I don't care what he does after this movie. Like, this is the thing too. Like, would you watch another Suicide Squad? I'm at the point where I'm like, maybe eventually. Like, I'm now convinced after 2 shots, they can't do the Suicide Squad properly. I've given up hope on Hollywood doing one of these. Maybe Bollywood could do one probably.
Abandon all hope, ye who enter here.
Yeah. But I have no hope. Like, I'll watch, if Margot Robbie does more Harley Quinn movies, I'll watch them. But like any of the other characters continue on, I have zero interest.
I feel like this is critically well received once again.
It is.
Yeah,
as they're trying to like capture the fanboy audience, Suicide Squad.
No, it's got good right. So people were saying that they were review bombing it, but I don't think so, because it's got good.
No, it's not like I don't hate it. It's just I don't know. Just because you flash a bunch of fanboy stuff on the screen doesn't mean I'm gonna love it for you. I mean, it has to also be good. Like a lot of this stuff, like I've watched Suicide Squad the original like many times, and I'll probably watch this many times too because I like the iconography, I like the costumes and the characters and the feeling of comic books come to life. But it's still not a good movie. I shouldn't have to check my brain at the door. If that's the kind of movie you want to make, then do a better job of that. Because and don't disrespect the characters while you're doing it. Like, I get what he's trying to do. It's like, no, it's unpredictable. You don't know who's gonna die. That's cool, but like you're taking actual characters from the comics and killing them. You know, like Dick Tracy. Anyway.
Oh man, we're not doing Dick Tracy. We're not doing J-Man versus Sean on Dick Tracy. I told you, it's not the comics, but it's still fun. And the characters weren't disrespected. They died in like epic gun battles. It wasn't silliness crap. Like,
yeah, no, yeah.
It wasn't silly.
But like Flat Top dies. Holy fuck. Like,
I love that movie.
I love that movie. And Flat Top's the damn best, man. Flat Top and Itchy together are great.
Oh, Breathless Mahoney with 88 Keys?
Yeah, so I showed that movie to my nephew who was like 8. And I didn't realize that you could see the nipples.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking, I'm like, I'm like thinking, wow, he must think this is the greatest movie ever made. But then I started getting nervous. I'm like, oh, he's gonna go home and he's gonna be like, we watched Dick Tracy, and then they're gonna, maybe look it up online because they don't know anything. And they're gonna look it up online and be like, why is there like nudity in this? And I was like, oh, they're a little bit of they're a bit square.
Yeah,
so. A man showing my child.
Yeah. And next week we're going to Pornhub. No. So it's like
my first subscription.
Just a side hype.
Yeah.
Like, so I picked this up. So 2 hypes. Number 1, I know this has been going on for like 15 years or so. I am tired of loose freaking flaps. What am I supposed to do with this?
Tiny baby.
I fold it in half.
Yeah,
and I put it in the disc enclosure.
Yeah, I don't want to damage it or anything. That's the thing. And I guess it's the only thing to do, right? And number 2, I hadn't realized it, and this is brand new to this. They got the full length feature film in storyboards, which is awesome, man. And I'm watching that right now. But anyway,
could not. Where was that? That's on that disc.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
I haven't watched
it's with the special features, feature-length storyboards. It's the entire movie in storyboards with the music on it. It's awesome.
Oh my god, I gotta watch that.
Wicked.
Wow. Yeah. So yeah, I haven't. I put it in. And I immediately went to the Unicron part in the beginning, and then I immediately went to Galvatron.
Oh, I always just watch the whole thing, man. I love this movie.
Oh, we lost Pineapple.
Oh shoot.
I didn't kick him. He could not
Beyond good, beyond evil, beyond your wildest imagination. It's crazy.
And then Leonard Nimoy's voice is on fire.
Yeah.
I still got to figure out like cartoons on 4K. Like,
I don't think this movie. Okay, so I buy every edition of Transformers, regardless of what it is.
Yeah.
But do you have it, Steve, or no?
I have it on DVD.
Oh wow.
So
well, it's a 4K restoration, and I would say that I haven't seen the movie yet on this Blu-ray version of the 4K restoration. Of course, it comes with the 4K disc. I don't have a 4K player or
neither
TV,
do I.
and I would think that it would look way better. The thing about animation is that it's all the colors are going to be the color, and so it's going to look sharper.
Yeah,
I would think. But like the blacks look super sharp, right?
I mean, I put the I have a 4K TV, but not a 4K player. But Steve has a 4K TV and a 4K player.
Yeah.
So I'm going to your place on Wednesday, right? We're gonna do movies. So
watch Transformer, like just watch a bit of it.
I can bring it in and we can watch it. We have to figure out what movie we're gonna watch, so we'll talk about that after, not live, and people don't even know what we're watching. But okay, so could not be reached. So you enjoyed? Did you see Dick Tracy? Not Dick Tracy. Did you see Suicide Squad? Let me know if you saw Suicide Squad and what you thought of Suicide Squad. So yeah, I mean, if there's a part 3, what's going to happen? Because the thing is that I like the idea of having Flag, Boomerang, and Harley as sort of your go-to people, or Boomerang and Deadshot could rotate, or even have Deadshot and have those 4. And then you can get 3 people and maybe one of them dies or something like. And if you're going to kill one of the major players, like a Boomerang or something, Captain Boomerang, then have him die in like some epic way, or because he did die, although recently in Infinite Frontier, he's back as like this weird creature thing.
He always dies and comes back. Like he did that in Suicide Squad New Frontier. Is it New Frontier? No.
He was eaten or something, wasn't
Rebirth. Oh, he died in the first mission. Like so the first mission of Suicide Squad and Rebirth was they went to this place called the Black Vault to retrieve something, and that turned out to be Zod.
Right. I remember this.
That's awesome. And he died, awesome. And then he came back, and there was forget her name. Was it Matrix? Something like that, where she was like a computer hacker, but she could like go into the internet. Like it was weird.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So he's come back. I mean, whatever. He could survive.
He comes back. Right? I'll be honest with you. I feel honestly like if you're doing Suicide Squad properly, each movie should have a different cast of characters.
Well, I thought that's what they're going for, but yeah.
Well, I think you need to have a couple people to because it's still a movie, right? So you want to it's like you. I thought it was going to be Rick Flag's series. Basically, I thought it was going to be Rick Flag's series. It's going to be his series.
No, I always thought it was going to be Deadshot and Harley's series. To be honest with you.
I knew it wasn't going to be Deadshot because Will Smith is not going to come back for endless sequels.
So, yeah,
like I thought that Rick Flag guy is an actor who's okay enough. Like he's not so awesome that he can come back and just redo these movies all the time. I liked him for what it's worth. I did like him in this one.
Yeah, he's okay. Cool. Like again, the problem is that there's too many like-minded characters, so he got lost in the shuffle. Like Rick Flag had no purpose in this movie, other than to wear a yellow Warner Brothers shirt. Which,
what the hell?
I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, what was that? I know, and then that's what somebody Truth mentioned Funko Pop, which Sean hates. So Sean's never gonna buy any Funko Pop.
I hate Funko Pops.
Yeah, and we're not debating that here. Phew.
Yeah, J-Man has no Funko Pops that I can't see right now on his shelf.
I have, no.
There.
Yeah, no.
Right by your head there.
I've got the Wonder Woman ones. And I put this one back up on display.
Oh,
like that, man.
But Penguin.
I would out of the new ones, I'll get the 2 Harley Quinns because I buy every Harley Quinn Funko Pop, but that'll be it. I was thinking of getting Peacemaker because he looked like the comics, but I don't know. And like they look okay. looking at the figures again, because I buy figures. I was looking at all the figures. It's like nobody really stands out to me where I need to buy this figure and be like, wow, that's a figure that I need. I didn't get any shirts. I always check Hot Topic for whatever new is out because they always have the new thing. So Suicide Squad was there. And I'm like, my Harley shirt is better than any of the ones they had there.
There's some cool painted looking art for this movie that I like.
Some of the posters look
nice.
nice.
They were good.
But the posters are very expensive.
Yeah.
If you want, I only buy original, like double-sided 2740.
Yeah.
And those are like, they're going to be $100. Like I didn't even buy, and I love Wonder Woman. I didn't buy any Wonder Woman because they're like $150 a piece. I'm like, screw that. So I'll wait. If they do a reprint, I may get it. I may not. I usually don't buy reprints. So I don't know. But all right. Okay. So any other thoughts? Any other points? Did we miss anything?
For Suicide Squad?
For either movie?
I don't know.
So it kind of, when you talked about how like this was like mostly fan service kind of, it kind of reminded me of another movie that came out recently, Mortal Kombat. I kind of have the exact same problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's no
fair.
tournament. Like that's
no
weird.
tournament. Yeah. Outworld looks cool, but Shang-Chi just shows up and he leaves. He doesn't do anything.
Shang-Chi's not a Mortal Kombat.
So I mean, this is basically James Gunn's fan service.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's even worse a bit because like the main character is not even from Mortal Kombat. Like he's just a guy.
That's so weird. How many characters are there in Mortal Kombat? Like 100?
400.
Like
there's 437. I just counted them. let's add a 438th character.
I love those fighting games where the whole thing is squares with a guy's face.
You can't even see who you're picking anymore.
And you have to, and character select, he'll give you enough time, like, and it chooses for you.
I have Ultra Street Fighter 4, and it takes me 45 minutes to decide who I'm gonna use. I'm like, by the time I decide who I'm gonna use, I'm like, I don't have time to play anymore. That's Mortal. I have Mortal Kombat 11 or.
Thanks for having me on the panel. I gotta go.
Oh, okay, cool, dude. Yeah, no worries. Thanks, man.
Take care.
See ya.
Also, if a javelin could take down Star, I guess Katana could have showed up and like took Starro's soul or something. Just sliced him. If we can play that.
But Harley Quinn has the plot armor to do it, and Katana doesn't. Katana was awesome.
Yeah,
she's the executive producer, right, or whatever. So,
executive producer powers.
I will see.
Except
the day
sadly,
yeah.
Except sadly, in this one, she did not have Rick Flag's back.
Nope.
Yeah.
She did not.
Yeah, it's like there's so many like I don't know. And they can make another Suicide Squad movie, and Amanda Waller can get other people and all that stuff. So
there's
I don't know.
a lot more villains to use. So,
what's the what was the money? How did it do?
It's 26 million opening weekend. It was forecast to make over 30 million. So they're saying, it's underperforming, but it's like 26 versus 30. And see, I don't have those numbers, so I don't know what. I don't have $26 million, so yeah.
Yeah. So okay, so it's not. There could be now again if there is a third one. Is it just going to be more James Gunn Suicide Squad?
No.
Or could it just be a TV series at this point? Just a 7-episode series or something.
So James Gunn has already come out and said he's done with DC.
Oh,
wow. Yeah, but so what are these stories about? Like he's going to do more with DC?
No.
Well, he did the Peacemaker TV series.
But what I'm saying is, what about these articles saying he's doing more with DC?
I don't know.
He's come out and said
I can't read, so
he's not doing any more with DC.
I never learned to read. Oscar clip.
I mean, the thing is that I'm sure when he came back to Disney, one of the things they said to him is you can't do anything more DC related.
Oh, you mean for Guardians 3 and all that?
Yeah. It was on Joe Blow.
I think you should make Romeo and Juliet Part 2.
That would
I
be
thought he
good.
was contracted to make Guardians 3 anyways. Like it was going to be his next movie after.
No, apparently not. Well, I don't know. Disney doesn't honor contracts anymore, so maybe he was and they just fired him. I don't know. I don't know how that works. There might be a morality clause. I have no idea. Like, I don't know how Disney operates at all. Yeah.
Yeah, all right, cool, man. Thanks. Yeah, so Boomerang's died a few times and has come back. He's back now, and I just read Infinite Frontier, Secret Files and Origins, or whatever, or Secret Origins, or whatever it was called.
Yeah.
So I just read, and he's back, right? So again, he's back again, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, like I don't know if they do another Suicide Squad the way these first two have happened. I don't really care if they do one because they're not.
And why they turn? Yeah, and why they turn? Michael Rooker? What's his character's name? Savant.
Savant.
No. Why they turn him into a coward and he's trying to escape? And it's like,
I feel like that's an insider joke because it's Michael Rooker and he's in all the
right ones.
Like, I feel like what he was saying, and that also didn't make sense because if you're cannon fodder, what does Waller really care if you run away or not? Like, their purpose clearly was to provide a distraction. They've succeeded in that. So I don't really know why she cared if Savant got away or not.
Yeah, Amanda Waller is so utterly uneven in these two movies. When I watched Part 1 and Part 2 like together, I took a small break in between. Blue Beetle. Yes, we'll talk about that maybe on Thursday. Peacemaker series. I don't know. Yeah. Blue Beetle's gonna be the guy from Cobra Kai, right?
Oh, cool.
Right?
I like that guy. Actually,
it's Jamie. It's Jaime.
Jaime. We literally do that. I do that all the time. I say Jamie half the time, and then I correct myself. So yeah,
it's Jaime. Yeah,
it's Jaime. Yeah. So he's. Yeah, I mean, I like that kid, and he can fight and stuff. So
it's an interesting too because I think that the Scarab is actually dangerous, and he like keeps it in check by letting it bond with him. So
yeah, like Blue Beetle, it's not Ted Cord
it's not Ted Cord, no,
and it's not.
No, it's the new guy.
Yeah,
but they've had him in the cartoons like several times.
Oh yeah. He's good in The Brave and the Bold, and it's not Dan Garrett or whatever who's the OG Blue Beetle, who's the Blue Beetle I like from the radio show.
So Steve, the only thing I could find from Joe Blow is 2 days ago where they quote James Gunn is saying he's working on more stuff with DC, but it's the Peacemaker TV series, and he says other things I can't tell you about, but we have ideas and stuff.
All right, let me look it up myself while you guys.
Yeah.
Well, by the way, for Night Court fans.
Yeah, Marky Post.
Yeah, Marky Post is gone.
Also, Marky Post was, I think she was supposed to be in a new Electro Woman and Dyna Girl.
Yeah, she was. I have the pilot. You have the pilot too.
Yeah. So I love Electro Woman and Dyna Girl, and there's a new Electro Woman and Dyna Girl, which I didn't watch, but it looked kind of interesting. Private chat. Oh, this is Sean sending me the link to Joe Blow.
Yeah, no,
it's all up in the air because like he has contracts with Marvel, so it's like he's doing shit with Marvel. Like, they mentioned that Ravagers TV series, which I'll believe when I see, but.
Well, they actually had a quick in Brave and the Bold. Actually, they had a quick thing where they showed Dan Garrett and Ted Cord in the Brave and the Bold. So I'm sure you've seen that.
Yes, that was awesome. Yeah,
that was the deal.
Yeah, Brave and the Bold honored the old stuff and was it's just a great cartoon. Like they had all the new stuff and I was surprised when they had Ted Cord.
But Dan Garrett, they showed the old Blue Beetle costume or whatever, where it was all just blue with like the yellow gloves or red, depending on when.
Yeah.
I've got a Blue Beetle issue. That reminds me, Sean. There's a comic show on the 20. When's the games day, Steve? 28.
29th.
Oh, 29th. Okay, well then that's it then. I was gonna say, I thought that was it's the
On
Sunday.
the 29th.
So
Yeah, so
I stand corrected. Obviously this is a peril when you don't really read the articles because you don't like the people who write the articles. So you just
right.
Well, I hate Joe Blow in the first place. So
Yeah, so do I.
So it was the opposite thing, which is he's going to be doing more of DC. So, by the way, Sean, I was telling J-Man before you came on, I just got Trivial Pursuit Ultimate Horror Edition.
Oh,
so we'll have to.
It looks awesome, man, and it's got like trivia from books, movies, and television.
Oh, fuck that books. I
told Steve we can't read. We don't know how to read.
But like books that were turned into movies or just books in general, like freaking like Michael
McDowell. He didn't read all the questions. he didn't read all the questions. And
movies, like the books, it'll be books. So I'm sure like Stephen King and stuff like that.
I'm just so you guys know. Do you know who Michael McDowell is? Not Malcolm McDowell. He wrote Beetlejuice.
Oh.
But he wrote books. And I'm reading his books are awesome. And they're quick reads. I recommend reading those. It's like The Amulet, Cold Moon Over Babylon. There's some good stuff. And people get destroyed, man. It's pretty good.
All right, I want to ask Steve, the latest Suicide Squad issue, is that the last one of this run? Oh, okay. Because I didn't see anything coming up.
No.
Like normally I see pre-orders for the next one.
Unless they're canceling it midstream, but Bloodsport goes to Earth 2 and encounters Ultraman.
Yeah. He was on Earth 2. I read that. So okay. So I don't know. There wasn't like Comixology. I stopped getting the physical Suicide Squad. So I just continue on digital, but I didn't see the next one coming up for Suicide Squad, so I thought maybe it was canceled. No. So if they do a Suicide Squad 3, is Bloodsport going to be back leading the team?
No, they could have him back and then die. I think I always thought this movie series that they're going to make a movie series would be what you're saying, that it's a different team each time. That makes more sense to me, right?
Yeah, I don't think they would understand that just because they're called the Suicide Squad doesn't mean everyone dies, right? Yeah. But I almost feel like Hollywood wouldn't get that, and they'd just be like, "Well, everyone dies. It's called the Suicide Squad, right?" So, I honestly
too many.
I honestly feel that it's a toss-up if it's because the reason why they made Idris Elba Bloodsport was so Will Smith could come back. So it literally depends if they can convince Will Smith to come back or if it's Idris Elba.
Right.
Yeah.
But I feel like Hollywood doesn't think. I feel like Hollywood thinks we need to have the star come back. Viola Davis has to come back.
Yeah, I mean, it's who you consider. Like, I would argue with you that I would not argue with you, but I would argue that the star of the Suicide Squad is really Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. Like, if you even look up
the movies,
even if you look up the Wikipedia series, you look at the cast names, the first name is Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. So I would say as long as Margot Robbie comes back, which she said she will, that's what you need back in the movies.
Now, in the comics, Steve, would you say she's the star? She's a star? She's like one of the main. Like, you need a Harley Quinn in this comic for this to be Suicide Squad.
It's better when she's in it, and she usually is in it. But I would say that the star really is Deadshot. He is the guy who you almost always see leading the Suicide Squad. And if it's not Deadshot, it's Black Manta. He took over for a while.
Oh yeah. What about Flag? It was Flag written out.
Flag comes in and out. Like in the new one, he's been arrested and then he escapes when Red X gets him out and he just disappears. I don't know. And they're trying to say Peacemaker helped him. So Peacemaker can also lead the team.
Peacemaker's the leader right now, sort of.
Yeah. But I would argue, in all honesty, and they haven't done a good job of this at all, the star of the Suicide Squad is Amanda Waller. She is the one constant through the entire thing, and she runs the Suicide Squad. So,
like in classic Suicide Squad, it's Flag is like usually the leader. Waller, I don't know when she came into it, if she was always there, because like I feel like Waller's more like in mass media, she's more of a 90s star onward.
Yeah.
In comics, I don't know. I'm gonna try and read like classic old school, like before Harley Quinn, right? Because like Harley Quinn comes from like the Batman cartoon, and then after that, when she was big in the 90s into the 2000s, then she started popping up more and more in comics, and I guess like she'd be a good choice for Suicide Squad. But now she's the face of Suicide Squad, like to me, and I feel like to a lot of people she is, right? Yeah.
Like I would have thought Deadshot, but I only really started with like New 52 and I only read a little bit. So it seemed like Deadshot was the main guy. It seemed like Deadshot, Boomerang, Harley Quinn were like the main people. And then you would rotate around. Then then in Rebirth, when they started Suicide Squad again, I did read that, and that's where Cavalier died right away, who I really liked. So he died, which sucked. But then Harley Quinn was always there. So then it was really those three people were always there. But then right now, it's like Peacemaker's the leader. Bloodsport is on Earth too. And it's Superboy, Talon.
I forget her name. The big girl.
The big girl. I forgot. I don't know who that is. To me, that's a new character. I don't know that character.
They had Nocturna for a while.
Nocturna.
She's there.
She's still there, I think, right? She's still there.
You told me about that,
Yeah, she's still there. So it's very lesser known people because like like Suicide Squad to me was like it's either a mixture of like Batman, Flash, Superman villains. You know what I mean? It's like you can't have too many Superman villains because they're too powerful. So it ends up being a lot of like the Flash rogue gallery and like the Batman rogues gallery.
Right.
Now
ends up being Suicide Squad people.
The first screen appearance of Suicide Squad, and the chat can correct me if we're wrong, or you two could correct me, but I'm pretty sure it's Justice League Unlimited. They had an episode called Task Force X, and I remember this because I was like, this is a cool episode because it wasn't even starring the Justice League, it was starring these guys. It was Flag. Well, I'm gonna read it here because I had to look it up. It's Flag, Deadshot, Plastique, Captain Boomerang, and Clock King because they needed someone to keep everyone to time.
Right.
And everyone's abilities, like they're not superhuman, most of them, but everyone's abilities are totally used. It's like Captain Boomerang is still an inventor, right? So he can invent cool shit to like get through like security and stuff. Clock King will make sure you make the times of each of the different tasks. Plastique can blow shit up, I thought that was a really great way to use the Suicide Squad. There was one episode, but I think that's the first screen appearance. They were cool in that.
So it's like, you mean Outsiders, Suicide Squad, or I'm sorry, Our Stranders. Okay, so yeah, so read full comics, readfullcomic.com. Check it out, Sean, and see what. I can usually, if it's an old comic, I can usually somehow find it somewhere, or I just buy some of them digitally because they're pretty cheap now. Like you're getting to like where it's if it's old, it's a buck. It's a buck a piece. And I'm sure there's a sale.
I thought because I like esoteric stuff, and then it'll be like super cheap, and I'm like, oh, bonus for me, I guess. And it's like no one cares about these characters. I'll snap them up,
I'm sure there's a Suicide Squad Comixology sale. Sorry, Steve.
Yeah, Suicide Squad always needs like the marksman, the muscle, the wild card, which is usually Harley Quinn. The actual like the criminal who's usually Boomerang. Like Boomerang never goes like eventually guys like Deadshot and characters like that, this is the mission, let's do this. Boomerang's always trying to figure a way out of the mission, and like he doesn't want to be there, and he's always like run away. He's a coward. So you need that.
And that was the movie. Yeah. Boomerang was doing that in the first movie.
Yeah.
He was always trying to like, oh, I got to get out of here. I don't care about this, and whatever. I don't want to do this, and it's like, I think the first movie had better, like the characters were different from each other.
Yeah.
Like Deadshot and Boomerang were not the same. Like I could tell the difference between those two characters and their dialogue and what their motivations were and stuff. There was more, they were more interesting. And even when they all got to, even when that mission was done, they're like, yeah, whatever. They're like, yeah, we're done. And they went and had a drink. You know what? That seemed kind of not too bad to me. I'm like, yeah, because they're like, I don't care about this. It's over. Like,
yeah.
That was handled better.
It was. I mean, the one mistake they made was if Rick Flag is like the leader, like the actual field commander of the Suicide Squad, but Katana is a second. Katana would have went. She would have been like, guys, we gotta. Yeah,
I agree with you on that. They Yes. Yeah. Katana was really wicked looking, and like she was that. I don't know who that actress is, but she was awesome.
Yeah.
But like, and that was a surprise because we kind of got her like, oh shit, Katana's in this. This is great.
Yeah.
So she was really good. I think the first movie had better picks for the squad.
Yeah.
The characters were realized better. The problems of the first movie, like it looked better, it felt better, the characters were better. The only problem is the Enchantress storyline and Joker isn't Joker. So if you could just take the mission and the way some of the action was shot from the second movie and put it to the first movie and maybe grab like Polka Dot Man or a couple of other more interesting guys and put those together, get rid of King Shark and all these other useless, like guys, and have that as the movie, that would have been better. I think overall, maybe I'm liking the first one more. Do we see the Ayer cut? No.
Do I care about seeing the Ayer cut? Probably not.
Because as I've pointed out, my personal problems are things that a cut can't solve. I like the characters. I like the look of it. I like the tone of it. I like Amanda Waller. She's a piece of shit. It's like she uses your weakness against you. I like that. I like that they're always trying to get themselves out of the mission. Like they're like, I don't want to do this anymore. What can we do? Well, maybe she's like, Joker will come get me. Then we can get out of here. Like I like all that. What I don't like is things that a cut can't fix. I don't like Enchantress. I don't know what to tell you. I don't like her stupid plan, which she's making a machine, which does what? I don't get it. Her turning people into these zombie bubblehead people. That's so stupid. I don't understand what that's all about. And it's not the proper Joker. A cut cannot fix that.
Yeah. The structure perhaps, but I don't think so. Their dumbass mission that turns out to be a big surprise. It's Waller is dumb. You can't, and maybe the jukebox aspect of it, like it bothers me. I don't know. I don't think it bothers you, J-Man or Steve, but like it's just all of the Warner owned music they just throw on there, and it's so on the nose. The lyrics are so on the nose. It's like I am a this and blah blah blah. It's like what the hell? Yeah, I hate that shit. And that wouldn't have been in an Ayer cut. Would that have made the movie better a little bit, but it wouldn't fix the structural problems of that movie. So yeah.
I mean, what scene was cut and that would have had Flag convince Deadshot to go on the helicopter other than the one we got, which is he pulls the letters out of his pocket.
Which is utterly stupid.
If there is literally another version of that scene that makes a hell of a lot more sense than that, then by all means give us the Ayer cut. But I don't think it exists. I think David Ayer can say, they cut it up and the studio interfered and all that. And I'm sure that's true to an extent. But still, at the end of the day, and this is what I don't get, because I hear directors bitching and moaning about, oh, they did this and did that. Alan Smithy is always around for you to use.
Yeah.
So your name's still on the movie. That Zack Snyder complained, oh, my Justice League. Your name is on the fucking movie, man.
Yeah.
Listen, you know who doesn't like movie adaptations? Monsieur Alan Moore.
Mm-hmm.
Because he takes his name off right away. But Mr. Moore, you'll get so much money because you're gonna get some royalties. And he's like, I don't care about royalties. I don't want my name on this movie. It's like, okay, but Mr. Moore, they've literally fucking made everything you've done into movies. From Hell, it's like Swamp Thing, TV series, Watchmen, V for Vendetta. I don't watch my name on these films. Okay, there you go. Take
Stephen
your
King's-
name off.
Yeah,
Then
it's called
you know what?
integrity.
It's called integrity. Then you're gonna know. You're gonna be like, yes. Hey, how come Alan Moore's name is on this? Oh, he doesn't approve of this. Oh, right. It's like Mr. Air. You don't like what they did to your movie? Take your name. They took their name off in Halloween Part 6 and Hellraiser 4, which I do like Hellraiser 4. But Alan, when I saw Hellraiser 4, I'm like, hey, that's the same guy that directed Halloween 6. And I didn't realize what. And then I'm like, who is Alan Smithy? It's like, what the hell? It's like he's made a lot of movies. Like, oh, wait a minute. I'm like, oh, that's why the director doesn't want. No, I learned from Hellraiser, whichever of those came out first. Like, that's where I first learned, because then the second one came out. Sorry, so whenever the second one had come out, so whatever came out first, Hellraiser 4 or Halloween 6. And then when the next one came out, I'm like, hey, that's the same director as the last thing. I'm like, oh my god, it's like a pseudonym for like someone who doesn't want their name or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah. Stephen King had his name removed from Lawnmower Man.
Yeah.
I like Lawnmower Man, but anyway,
It's definitely not his. If you read his story, that is not his story.
Yeah, that is not it.
It is nowhere near that story. I mean,
well, all the phones ring at the end, so that's kind of neat.
Lawnmower Man, the story is really weird. Like, really weird. It's not that movie. It's no. Like, I'm not saying Lawnmower Man was wrong to not make that story. But it's Stephen King. If he's like, that's not my story, I'm not arguing that. That is definitely not his story.
Right. All right, guys. Well, we're gonna end it off there then. We're saying they're both kind of equal. Some does things better than part 1 does some things better than part 2. Part 2 does some things better than part 1. But it is what it is. So whatever. We'll see. I guess we'll see if there's a part 3. If not, then we know it is what it is. But all right, guys, we're going to end off there then. Thanks for joining, and for everyone who came in. We appreciate it, and for all your comments and all that. I think, I don't know when I'm coming on next, probably Thursday. So see you Thursday. All right, take care.